Brentford Football Club 3, Tottenham Hotspur 0. Quite possibly the antithesis entirely of what every Tottenham fan was expecting this afternoon. A good pre-season, undefeated pre-season, record transfer spend, 3, 4, potentially more record-breaking transfer signings coming to Tottenham this transfer window, an ownership that finally backs the manager, and everyone fully bought in, fully coised, fully on board what was going to be, what was supposed to be the perfect start to an improbably wonderful season. And yet, Spursy once again re-enters the narrative, the zeitgeist. I can't tell you how angry and frustrated I am by what I have just seen. I missed 10 minutes of the second half, and it was the best 10 minutes of my last 2 hours of my life because I didn't get to see how bad we were. I missed a third goal for Brentford. We were dominated, devastated, outclassed, outworked, outfought, outstructured, and outplayed in every division, every position, and every facet of the game. There is absolutely no excuse for what we just saw. And I'm furious. And I'm sorry, I'm not going to apologize for not being sorry about the fact that I am furious with what I have just seen. We can make excuses all you want. Pre-season wasn't good enough. Well, it wasn't good enough. People that say pre-season's a glorified kick around in the park, it's a glorified fitness test. There are teams that prepare themselves better by playing stronger teams, by not chasing revenue around the world. Walking into this game, we were all led to believe that things were going to be different, and there was nothing different. That first half of football, and for the most part the second half, was worse than the vast majority of games we saw under Thomas Frank last season. There are no excuses. There may be explanations. We're going to find out what other people think. You know how I felt if you just watched my watch along. I'm unbelievably upset right now. I'm going to bring in some guys and some girls to have their say, and we're going to see where we go. Guys, before we get into it, smash the like button. I know I hate to say this, but please do. It does matter. Hit the subscribe if you haven't already. Hit the notification bell and drop some comments. Just before I bring them in as well, we are sponsored, of course, by OK Jersey. Code Sean10 at checkout gets you 10% off. You can go and get the new clobber if you really want it. You can get the previous clobber if you really want it. And you can get some Jeremy Jackays and all that stuff. New training gear and all those things are also available. The Spurs Hub is important, guys. The Spurs Hub is important because right now, I know this is going to be brutal, but you can go. And I really appreciate it if you did go to the Spurs Hub as we speak right now in a separate tab so that you can go and let the team have it. I haven't updated the scoreline, but I'm going to show you where you go. If you go to the SpursHub.co.uk and then go /ratings, then your ratings matter because we're trying to create and collaborate and to try to get to a situation where we can collate all of your ratings over the course of the season. Today was an absolute shocker. And as you go through this, if you are signed up as a free member, you can put your ratings in and you'll be able to see how everyone else's are as well. You can average your stuff out and see whether or not you're more positive or more negative than the average fan. All of the players are in there. All of the people that started today. I do need to update the scoreline, but the ratings are more important. So please go to the SpursHub.co.uk /ratings. Make sure you sign up as well for all the other reasons. But right now, I'm not even going to bother talking about that because I'm so angry and I want to let everyone get their shit off their chest. Let's bring in some of the usual crew to get things going. We've got Raino. Big up to you, Rain. We've got Hugo. Jasper's in the background. And we've got Kate as well. Big up to Kate. And we've got Jimbo. I know Drew's coming soon. It could be a busy show. Listen, depending on how long we want to go, I might be able to do also a fan show where we can put out the link to other people. But absolutely atrocious. We've got some stats to go through. I'm really unimpressed. Rain, you were here first. Big up to you, my man. How are you? And get some things off your chest. I can already hear an echo in the background, so if someone's got an echo, fix that. But Rain, how you doing, mate? You okay?
I'm good. Let me just double check my...
You're fine. It's not you. It's not you. You're fine. Yeah, you're fine.
I mean, obviously, I'm really disappointed. I predicted 2-1 in the predictions on Spurs Hub. But I'm not surprised when you look at the amount of work that we have done to this squad. I put out a first team, like if you include Gakpo, Marmoush, and Savio. I put out like what would our first team actually be on the WhatsApp group, and it's I think I have two players. Oh no, I had three because I had Maddison as well, who would have started in our first team at the start of last season. So Porro, Van der Ven, Maddison, if they're all fit, right? Yeah, I think they would have started. 8 other players, all new, and it's not going to happen. I don't think it's going to happen overnight. It's going to take a long time. It's going to take multiple windows. I honestly, I'm so sorry to say this. I don't think Savio and Marmoush fix this. I really don't. I think we're going to need multiple windows to cycle out the players who have ended up, who are the main reason why we've finished 17th twice. And it's going to take multiple windows, like Richalison today, right? It's going to take us windows to cycle these players out. And what I'm hoping for this season is obviously not, is top half. I'm hoping for Europe, but I'm tempering my expectations. On the other side, what we saw from Brentford is the opposite. We saw a very settled team. They've added two players, two starters to their first team, and they did relatively okay last season. So that's why, that's my summary of what's happened today. And I'm going to be patient. With the
you might not be patient with some of the questions that I've got to ask you, though, Rain, because I feel like I've just done my predictions, and I've just realised that I've left Matheus Fernandes off of the bench, so I'm going to go and quickly speak to Claude and tell it to update the team selection to include Fernandes on the bench. So apologies about that, but I'm going to come back and have some serious excuse my French, Jasper. Apologies. Some serious conversations. Hugo. Come to you. Big up to Jimbo and to Kate as well for joining. I appreciate what you're saying, Rain. I'm just, I've had messages from my dad saying, Sean, you got to calm down, mate. You're going to give yourself a heart attack. And I wanted to go to him, bro. I know you're my dad. And I know you mean the best for me, but I'm not in the mood to have like a fatherly chin wag right now about my energy. Like, this means more to me than to most. I'm so fucking frustrated with what I've just seen. Hugo, talk to me. Where are you at? And I'm going to be listening. I'm not going off screen, but I've got to fix.
Go and serenade Claude. Mate, I was just gobsmacked just at the complete lack of chemistry at all. I know there's there's a whole load of new bodies out there and whatever else. I was also gobsmacked, and I think on the show, on our pre-game show, I said my primary concern was that Berghvall was being rolled out in that midfield against a pretty robust Brentford side. Lo and behold, our midfield got overrun and Berghvall got hoiked at half-time because, quite frankly, he was the weakest Spurs player on the pitch by a country mile. Also, for those delightful people in the world that can't just button it about how Spurs need to only be getting Prem-proven players because otherwise nothing's guaranteed. No, what we need is a proper scouting system, the likes of which our friends at Brentford have, because do you know what? Your mate, Sean, who you do your dog walk with, with Brentford was spot on about
Wasn't he?
Sangare.
Yeah, unbelievable,
He
wasn't he?
is
Unbelievable, that player.
absolutely superb. And you
Yeah.
know what? I bet they picked him up for a can of Coke and a bag of skips in Europe.
I think he cost 40 million quid. I think he cost
Right.
40 million,
So
which I
he
think is a
cost
record for
40
them.
million. And between Fernandes and Tonali, we spent, what, 185 mil. I'm just saying, like, this whole Prem-proven whatever.
But obviously, we know that they're
Lovely
good players.
idea.
We know that these players are good, right? So I'm not questioning the value of Tonali. I'm not questioning the value of Fernandes in the second half. I'm not questioning the value of any of
No,
these
but when
guys. Right?
people are saying that we
The
don't have...
organisation of the team, Hugo. Like,
Yeah, but
I've got to
mate,
be honest, mate. It
hang on, I'm
looks
getting
like
to
they
the...
didn't know their fucking arse from their
hang on,
fucking
mate.
elbow, mate. I
Hang
was like,
on.
what is going on?
I'm not... The point I'm trying to make here is this obsession about having to sign Prem-proven players up front for us, and we're being dragged out and, like manhandled and made to wait. No, you can find very good players on the continent that haven't played in the Premier League. We could have had them in the door already, and they could easily have been upgrades with the dross that we have up top.
No, but Hugo, I'm sorry, I'm not having it that we were outclassed by better players today. Like I'm not having it. Like they looked better than us, but they're not better players, right? Yenelt absolutely dominated that midfield alongside Sangare. They smashed us into smithereens, but no one is making out that Yenelt is a £100 million player. No one, Sangare, like he might become a £100 million player. Like I say, looks really good, looks really fucking good, and looks like he can move into space as well and do other things. Because from what I've learned about Sangare, he's just a defensive midfielder, like Polinia style, but then he actually pivoted and was like the assist for their second goal, etc. So he looks like he's a baller as well. But my point is that there's nobody in the Brentford team that should be getting into the Tottenham team. There really isn't, apart from maybe we had this conversation earlier. Maybe Igor Thiago, maybe Kevin Schade on that team versus our team sort of thing.
Yeah, and probably their front three could easily have been ahead of our front three.
It's not talent versus talent generally, because the game was lost. Our game was lost in the fucking midfield, and our midfield is better than theirs on paper in talent and technique. I've got my eyes are on De Zerbi.
Not when you start with Berghvall. Your opening fixture of the season. You're going to Brentford, which is tough anyway. They're a big physical side. Don't trot out, like your little dweeb in midfield.
He's not a dweeb, mate. He's 6'2".
It doesn't matter. He gets knocked around like he's a fairy.
All right, listen. We'll come back to that. We'll come back to that state. I appreciate you. Listen, Hugo, I'm probably going to have an argument with everybody tonight on this panel.
Mate, it's quite okay if you think Berghvall
No, I thought Berghvall was atrocious. I thought Berghvall was atrocious, but I'm not going to sit here and have him being called a dweeb. He's not a dweeb. He just got bullied today. He absolutely got bullied today, which again leads me to the point. Hang on, Hugo. Let me bring in Kate. Let me bring in Jimbo. We'll come back. We'll go around. I'm not going to. Everyone's heard my point. I'm already feeling myself like I want to fucking. Kate, how are you? You're on fucking mute, Kate. Come on, what are you doing?
I'm tip top.
Are you?
I'm bloody top. No, I'm fucking not tip top. Listen, you can sit here. We can all sit here and say, look, it's not going to be our first 11, and it's not going to be. Maybe we haven't all gelled, and there's injured players coming back. But they not only did they outplay us, there was no fight, no intensity, no urgency. There was absolutely nothing. And I said to Jimbo at the end of the first half, I feel like I'm watching Frank Ball all over again. I didn't see any assertive passes going forward. It was all sideways and backwards. To me, it looked like a team that had just been thrown together the day before and just said, right, go out and play. No one seemed to really know what the other one is doing. The passing was terrible. Square pegs in round holes. Gallagher is not a 10. He was dreadful.
He was awful
Awful.
today.
Along with so many others. I'm not singling him out. There wasn't anyone really that shone out. I mean, Robbo and maybe Tel and Fernandes were the best of a really poor bunch.
Who was?
Fernandes, Tel, and Robbo, I thought, really, were the only ones that weren't atrocious. However, I think
Tel was terrible as well, to be honest. I thought Tel was shocking today. I thought he
wasn't great, but he wasn't as bad as some of the others, you know. But look, what we've got to be careful of, I get it, everyone's cross, everyone's angry, but we've got to be careful not to have a knee-jerk reaction, because Brentford away is never an easy game. They looked so well drilled, so fit, so up for the challenge, and I felt like we turned up like Man United did against Hull and just thought,
okay,
we'll just turn
Can
up.
I just ask you? I'm not angry because we lost, right? It's like, I wouldn't be angry if we went to Arsenal and lost. I wouldn't be angry if we went to Chelsea and lost. It's not about losing; it's the manner in which we were laughing earlier about Terry Fleuer's. You were finishing your show, but Drew and I were laughing about Terry Fleuer's reaction to Man United when he was like, "There's going to be people in life that are better than you at everything, right? You can bake a fucking cake that's better than you, that are better at football, they're better, but you got to try." And he's right. And Tottenham didn't turn up. No. It's not about losing to Brentford. It's about the manner. And I'm sorry, like, people that are going, it's one game, calm down. It's the first game. It's the first game. If you can't rally for the first game, if you're not angry, not you guys, not you personally. Well, actually, all of you, all four of you, 5 of you, including Jasper, and 1,500 people that are watching. If you're telling me to calm down, maybe I'm a little bit animated, and that's fine. I appreciate if you're looking after my health. But if you're not wound up by what you've just seen, why not? It's absolutely unacceptable. That performance was fucking atrocious. Jimbo, am I wrong?
No, it was a terrible game. Terrible. They just looked disjointed. But I think to myself that you'll probably never see that team again on half of them players on there, Sean.
No, but Jimbo, we said sorry to interrupt you quickly, but I was just going to say, we did say on the pre-match show that everyone should be fighting for their place.
Yeah, of course they should. That's what I did. I was the one who said it. I was the one who said it. I was expecting performances from Moore, Berghvall, Gray, Tel, well, all of them, especially the defenders as well, because you've got Van der Ven sitting in the background. So no one shone out. But I'm just thinking to myself, it's going to take them time to gel, right? The half them players not going to be on there. If you see a team with Porro at the back, with Van der Ven, Van Hecke, Udogie or the Scottish lad,
Robertson,
Tonali, Fernandes, Maddison.
I'm sorry, sorry, Jimbo.
I just think, look, Sean, I think that it was just a weak team. Too many weak ones in there, not strong enough to fight. Honestly, I said to Kate, if we was going through the season right with this team, we're finishing in the bottom half without any shadow of a doubt.
Which players, Jim?
Tonali was bullshit today, Jimbo. £100 million. Tonali was.
Yeah, he was bullshit today. He was bullshit today, but it's his first proper game for us, Sean. Right, they've got to bed in as well, and they've got to get the other players around them.
Van Hecke.
Terrible. I agree. Awful. But what I'm saying is, we need a stronger team that's going to be more settled. Right, there was too many weak players in there,
and our midfield and our defence is settled.
That's not settled. It's the first time they've played together in a competitive match.
And is that not a problem? By the way, is that not a problem? Is it not a problem?
Of course it is. But what I'm saying is, there's no point.
Go on. Sorry.
But there's no point us all having a fucking meltdown on the first game. It was shit, and I'll be the first one to say it was shit. And I said to Kate, if we was playing with this team through the season, we'd be in the bottom half without any shadow of a doubt. But we've got some strong players to come back in, and we've got some strong players that are being bought, and the team will change, Sean. It'll be a lot stronger team, right? And when they've played a few games together, it'll all settle down. You know, I'm sorry, but players like Berghvall and Gray and Moore, right, are not ready for the Premier League. They're not.
I agree, Jim. But how the heck was Gray captain today? By the way,
that was a weird one. That was a strange one.
Farcical. Absolute joke.
I'm sorry. Hang on a second. Berghvall was absolutely toilet today. Absolutely toilet. Yesterday, 3/4 of the fan base was saying, "Thank God he's not going."
Who?
I weren't one of them.
Twitter was going mental. Like everybody on Twitter. Not everybody, of course. Twitter's a horrible place, and there's no consensus on anything, right? But like I was seeing people putting out posts, and they were liked, 10,000 likes that Berghvall's going to stay.
Sean, I keep saying
And
right?
today, people are going to flip flop on it. Like I'm not losing my mind about the bigger picture. I'm not. Right, but there's a difference between. I'm not sitting here throwing my toys out the pram saying like anyone out. I'm not saying De Zerbi's got to go. I'm saying there is an appropriate level of disappointment that needs to be articulated. This was the worst start to the season that Tottenham Hotspur could possibly have given us after all of the backing, all of the money, all of the hype, all of the unbeaten pre-season against dog shit fucking teams. It doesn't look like it's syndicated. It doesn't look like it's activated. It doesn't look like it's prepared. And I'm sorry, I'm not going to sit here and go, you know what, it's one game, calm down.
Well, hang on, we're lucky it wasn't
embarrassing. It was absolutely embarrassing, guys. And anyone in the chat that wants to tell me that you're over the top, Sean, okay, fine. You stay. You do your thing. You do you. If you're cool with it, cool. I'm horrified by what I saw today. Horrified.
Yeah, I mean, 3-0. Honestly,
Flattered us.
Like it did. Like they missed the pen, and they could have easily scored another. We could have very easily today been 5-0 down. And by the way, before anyone gets overly offended, please don't ever come to me and tell me that Micky Moore is generational. Ever. I'm sorry, he had 3 gilt-edged chances today. And he couldn't have hit it more at the keeper if he tried on each and every.
I just look
Honestly,
at it to last season, and we've spent all that money, and I know that most of them weren't playing. I don't really see what's changed. And De Zerbi came out and said, "I want to put the soul back in the club," and then you get like served up that absolute dross, and it's like it's just a little bit. I'm a little bit shell shocked at what I just saw. If you want me to be truthful.
But if you look at our preparation, guys, we're trotting off to Australasia. While we're then basically turning over a whole team. There's been zero, dedicated, granular preparation. It's just been like, oh, well, we'll trot off here. We'll get a bunch of guys together. Off you go, make it happen. It's De Zerbi ball, is supposedly not very easy. Like when he first took over at Brighton, it took him a while to get going.
I'm happy to go and micro analyze this, but what I really think today is a reminder of what Premier League football actually is. Brentford finished what, 10th, 8th? I can't remember, 7th. No, they
just missed out on Europe, didn't they?
Yeah, they just missed out on it. And they are a very, very, very good team. I think people have forgotten in the run up to the start of the season just what Premier League football is. And this is a reminder, this is a wake-up call. Premier League football is hard. It's really hard. And we're not ready. We're not ready in the slightest. We've had a massive amount of change in this team. We've had I'm sorry, Sean, we've had a terrible pre-season, right? Which
I agree with you. Why are you apologising to me? I agree.
Because I am making excuses. That's why I'm apologising.
No, they're not excuses. They're explanations. They're partial explanations. I'm sorry. Roberto is the second or third most paid. I'm not losing my shit at Roberto, right? But he doesn't get fucking passes, mate. He doesn't get a pass. He does not get a pass. He didn't change anything tactically. I didn't see him off the bench changing things. I didn't see him coming in doing anything. If that was Thomas Frank or Ange Postecoglou, people would be losing their fucking mind. I don't care if it's game week 1. I don't care.
Yeah.
Like Man United fans are rightly apoplectic about what they saw today. Tottenham fans should be too. He's just had the best window that any manager's ever been given to him, and it's not even finished yet. He didn't have the team ready. They were outbeaten in every single department of the game by a bunch of players who are good, but they are organised and well run. But none of them would get into Tottenham's team bar the occasional couple of people at the top end of the park. None of them would get into Tottenham's team. And yet they played us off the park, and people are telling me to calm down. It's winding me up. It's winding me up.
I think we have to accept that our Richalison, right, is just not good enough for this club. It just absolutely. I do not understand why they haven't run him out of the club.
Solanke's no better, by the way.
Absolutely, I don't disagree. Berghvall is no surprise to me today. I've said it multiple times. It's anyone just go back and watch the Forest game at home and watch Morgan Gibbs-White's goal, and it is a carbon copy from Berghvall. It's a carbon copy as to what he did today. Ball over here, laterally across the pitch. He's watching it. He gets drawn towards it. The player just passes it past him, and the person who he's supposed to be marking just wanders past him. Right? He just wanders past and is completely free in the box. He does it so many times. It is who he is. He is not changing. He is not good enough. I'm sorry. He is not good enough. He isn't. He is let us down too many times.
He's a head down, low crosser, and it's predictable.
But he shouldn't be starting today.
Just quickly, I haven't got. Jimbo, I'm going to come to you now, mate. I showed this at half time before the stream lacked on my side, right? I haven't got I'm going to get the screenshots to back up what I'm saying. I haven't got the right team here. I haven't got the right. Obviously, the names are all from last season or whatever. Okay, but our team today was Tonali here with the ball, right? You've got Senesi and you've got and Van Hecke here, okay? And at times during that game, so you had Robertson over here on the left and you had Archie Gray on the right-hand side. But I lost count in that first half the amount of times that I saw Tonali with the ball looking up, and it was like this. It was like that, right? It was everyone was in front of every single Tottenham player. It was embarrassing, okay? It was you could look up and go, where is he supposed to pass the ball? And in the end, he would move the ball here, give the ball back to him. He would thread it, and it would get
that's because he's got no confidence in putting the ball forward, Sean.
But it's also because the Brentford manager saw this coming and told them to step in front. You don't often see it. You do not often see this in football, where you have situations where every single offensive player is goal side of the defensive player. You don't see it because you're leaving yourself open to the situation where people are going to do that and do that and do that or do that or do that, right? And you can't watch them. But we didn't do any of that. And every time Tonali or Berghvall got the ball, they threaded it in, and it was just, was it gone? It was just one big giant step up, get the ball, and then bang it over the top for Sade or bang it over the top for Ouattara. It was so fucking easy. And I'm sorry, I've never coached a football team in my life. I've never played football in my life. But if I was on the sideline in that game, and I'm not professing like I know anything, but I would absolutely be screaming from the touchlines. If that's what they're going to do, you, Micky Moore, Tel, Richalison, you have to do parallel movement. You have to do it. You have to give these guys options, and they didn't. And that's by design. It's either the players aren't intelligent enough to figure it out, or it's the players are told to do it, to stick to their guns, to stick to their positional play. On some level, De Zerbi and whoever it is that's on his sideline either saw what I saw and decided not to do it, or if I'm wrong, I'm wrong. But I will tomorrow, I will show you 7 screenshots from different stages of the game in that first half where that was the state of play. It's embarrassing. It was embarrassing. And you've got to ask questions around why was there no plan B? Because we were beaten up in every phase of the game.
Yeah. Well, maybe it's a tactic that is being used so that De Zerbi can go, well, told you they were shite. Get in the players pronto.
Maybe the front line's just not good enough. I mean, look, I'm going to be honest.
Jimbo,
half of them,
maybe.
half of them look like they didn't even want to be there. It's like they know they're going.
My concern, though.
No, they know they're going. Some of them, or they're going to be.
Yeah, but hang on, Jimbo. My concern, right, is that we can all agree that front three is shite, right?
It's not going to be.
No, but hang on. Let me finish. Even if we then change that over with Savio, Marmouche, and Gakpo for argument's sake, right? The drop-off between what would be the new starting three and the benched three is horrendous, by the way. As in, like, Pochettino levels of first 11, pretty good, bench, abysmal. And that's a big concern of mine. Like, we need to be... I know it's going to take multiple windows to try and, like, get the garbage out. But my concern, you know, even if hopefully we manage to, you know, like, get the upgrade in the front three, is the drop-off between... If all it takes is a couple of injuries and you do have this dross being, trotted out to start. That's my concern.
Yeah, but there's Hugo, look... They can't do everything in one window. I think they've done.
I agree. I said it.
If we get them front three in, right, it's a fantastic window, and we won't lose many games with a team like that, unless we get some major injuries, right? But we've got to give it more than one window before we start talking about having that standard of player on the bench as well.
The problem with today wasn't in the first half. We were 2-0 down at half time. We could have been 4-0 down, and it wasn't because of our forward line.
No, everybody was bad, Sean. We know that. Everyone was bad.
We're not going to improve our defensive line anymore.
No, but he's going to work with them. You know, he's going to work with them. I mean, they have just come in the door, right? They've done a World Cup, so it is going to take a little bit more time. You know, it's going to take a bit more time working with them getting to know each other. But it was terrible today. There's no arguing about it. But it's not going to. We're not going to go through the season like this. It's not going to happen.
I fucking hope not. Really,
he lost.
But
hang on a minute, Rain. De Zerbi lost his first 5 games at Brighton before he got them kicking in. Right. I don't think it's going to be our first 5 games here. I think we just need to get these new players in who are a much, much higher standard than the ones in there. And look, I'm going to say this again about Berghvall. I cannot see in him what people see in him. I just think that he is absolute dog shit. And now we've turned down 50 to 60 million for him. I can't get my head around it.
Yeah, Berghvall was absolutely atrocious today. Kate, let me bring you in. Oh, sorry. I will bring you in, Kate, a second. I know Rain was going to say something. Sorry, Rain. I didn't mean to cut you off.
I think the quality of the forwards absolutely is relevant, because when Sean is rightly pointing out that Brentford just cut off any passing lanes. That's what they did. They just cut off any passing lanes. And what needed to happen was those forwards to have the wherewithal to know that they needed to work a little bit harder. I don't blame Tel or Micky more for not being able to do that. They've got a lot of growing to do, right? But I do blame Richalison. I just don't think he's good enough at all. But
no, I don't blame Micky more. I don't blame Micky more, Rain. But I listen. You know, I back Mathys Tel. I thought he had a stinker today. I thought he was fucking terrible. So.
But also, this is the quality of the players that we've got. We need players who understand how to either A, work harder, or B, work smarter. And unfortunately, the players that we've got need to be physically told what to do. And that doesn't work on a football pitch. On a football pitch, they need to be able to adapt. They need to be able to work out what's going on and change as it's going. Oh yeah, absolutely. Maybe De Zerbi should be yelling at them to do this, that, or the other. But
He has to bring in a second phase, Rain. He has to. He sat on the bench like I've never seen him so so inanimated, and that was really surprising because he's always been an animated manager, but he didn't do anything today. Kate, you haven't said anything for ages. Let me bring you in on what we're talking about here. Like I say, for me, I don't know. Today, I don't think you're going to improve the squad much better than you got today. Yes, you might have better players coming in and when everyone's fully fit, but you're never going to have a fully fit thing. So, like, in a world where it should have been Tonali and Fernandes, yeah, okay, cool. That's how we'd like to see it. But again, we're a team with injuries and we always have injuries. So there's going to be plenty of situations where our fully fit squad isn't going to be there. Our bench, our reserve players are better than they've ever been on paper. Today, Kate, it was, and again, I don't like the first half was where I was really concerned. Second half was no better, but the first half is where the standard is set, and the forwards. Go on, talk to me.
I mean, I said to Jimbo at half time because the first half, I mean, I went into the kitchen and my son went, "You all right?" I went, "No," and he went, "Is it bad?" I went, "It's dreadful." And I said to Jim, one thing we know for sure is the second half isn't going to be as bad as the first. De Zerbi won't allow it. But I didn't see that much difference.
Nothing better.
No. And, you've got to ask questions. I'm seeing people saying De Zerbi gone by Christmas, De Zerbi out. I'm not suggesting that at all. But at the same time, like you say, if it was a Thomas Frank, we would be going, why didn't he do this? Why didn't he do that? I mean, to leave both Maddison and Fernandes on the bench to start with, fair enough. Maybe they're not ready to play 90 minutes. But Jimbo and I have always said, we'd rather start with the strongest and try and get in front. And then if you have to take them off, that's just how we are. It just looked like that Brentford knew what we were going to do. And they'd planned to play exactly the way to null us. And we didn't have an answer to it. And De Zerbi didn't make any tweaks or changes to give that answer. We just kind of sat back and let ourselves get beat. And we were beaten. Like their goal XG, whatever you call it, was 3.96 and ours was 0.47. I mean, that is unbelievable. That is Thomas Frank sort of levels we're talking in.
3.96. So they should have scored at least 4.
4, yeah. And ours was 0.47. And you can't put that just on a poor forward line. You've also got to put it on the midfield. And when you've got £100 million baller in Tonali, who I put my hat on because I think he's brilliant, but he was just awful today. It just...
he was awful. Berghvall was awful. Archie Gray was awful. There's nobody in that team that even fucking Kinsky.
Yeah.
I mean, you can't really ever give Kinsky a good anyone who concedes 3 goals, but it could have been 5 or 6. But like the second goal, he parried back into the middle of the box, right? Which is like just rule 1, standard 101 goal. It's absolutely shocking. Guys, listen, I've got 20 super chats I've got to do. Just so you know, Keith Andrews is in the post-match press conference right now. As soon as he's done with that, we're not interested in that particularly, are we? But I'm sure he's going to be praising his team, and rightly so. Congratulations to him. By the way, what a managerial start he's been, right? Like unbelievable what he took over from Thomas Frank, and then the way he set them up was fantastic. Let me do these super chats.
Thomas Frank, Sean.
Well, he's got them organised. Like to me, the biggest problem from today, individually, everybody was atrocious. No one gets away with anything. Nobody walks away from that 90 minutes with any plaudits from me. None at all. Please go on to Spurs Hub if you haven't already. I have added Fernandes now into the substitutes if he was missing before. So please make sure you go and get your ratings logged, and we'll bring them up in a little while. I'll bring them up on the screen and see what everyone's saying. But let me do some super chats, and then we'll hopefully by the time that's done, we'll get to hear what this manager has to say. Big up to Daniel Larson for the membership. Big up to you, Danny, but good to see you, man. Appreciate you. I think that was from the last show, wasn't it? Big up to you, bro. Big up to Sam Porter as well. Big up to you for the last show. Appreciate you, mate. Big up to JKU for the jewels. Big up to Mark ON17 for the super sticker super chat without any words, but I appreciate you, mate. No words needed, mate. I know you're pissed off. Appreciate you, though. He's come back in with another one. Remember for 1 month saying, Sean, do you agree some time to gel? yes and no. Like, yes and no. Like, I'm sorry, it's the start of the fucking season. Get them ready. This is what... Like, De Zerbi's getting paid 13, 14 million pound a year. Massive bonuses. Yes, he got us out of trouble. But I'm sorry. Like, I'm not going to sit there and go, we're not ready yet. It's the start of the season. It's like you're starting the 100 meters race or you're starting a marathon and everybody that you're competing against goes at the gun and you've got to put your shoes on. Like, I'm sorry. Like, it's just like 3 points today is as valuable as 3 points in May. Like, and it's we've just given up 3 points against Brentford because we weren't ready and we weren't organised enough. And I'm not going to sit there and like placate it because everyone's in love with De Zerbi or everyone's in love with the window. Like, come on, it's not good enough. Yes, we will get better. I fucking hope we will. But today I thought was shocking. Big up to Blaine. Big up to Big Blaine. Druzilla, do you want a refund, mate? Pathetic.
Do you want the money instead?
No point singling anyone out. What's disappointed me the most is I didn't see a single bit of desire on.
That's normally an option, isn't it, Kate? It's normally you can have the house or the car or the money.
I didn't see a single bit of desire on that pitch. All looked deflated or uninterested. Yeah.
I agree with that. So many of them didn't look like they give a fuck. And I think that's because they know they're not going to be here or they're not going to be playing.
Who are you talking about?
Richie, he's not. He's never going to get a game.
He won't leave.
Yeah, but the thing is, if he stays, Wayne, he's going to be stuck on the bench. Right?
Moore's going. This window, I'm convinced.
And why I cannot get my head round why they're keeping Berghvall. I just can't, honestly.
On the back of today's performance, you're not going to get 55 for him. You'll get 45.
Well, do you know what, Sean? The only one thing good for me that's come out today is I'm convinced now they will go and buy another right back. Because if he gets injured, Porro, there is no way on this earth that Gray can play there. I
agree with you on that. Can I ask you another question?
On that, Sean, I would absolutely have Coyote over Archie.
Yeah, he's a baller. He's an absolute baller. But you know what else he is? He's tall. Right, he wins things in the air. Now, Kate, you were accusing me of being heightist all week, right? You were, weren't you? It's not the first time. Don't worry, it's not just you. Half people in the chat. Can you see my point now? Can you see my point? Can you see my point against teams like Brentford? Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Yeah, you got to look up to see the point because Richalison's one of our only players that are supposed to be good in the air, and he got absolutely bodied and buried in every aerial duel today. And we'll go through his stats in a minute, but he got absolutely murdered in every aerial duel, as did Tonali, as did every time they pressed us like a fucking orange peel, and then Kinsky would bang it long. We didn't win any second ball. This was just wave after wave. And that sort of thing starts with being able to command the aerial presence. And we don't have anyone that can do it, which is why I was calling it out. It's a big fucking deal. And even if you sign Gakpo, that's just one element. But we have got a small team, and it's a problem. It actually brings into play the idea of bringing Bentancur back in, because actually Bentancur is actually pretty good at winning midfield aerial duels from long clearances, both defensively and offensively. Anyway, let's carry on. Big up to Blaine. Appreciate you, mate. Very funny, but yeah. Drew probably is like, I wouldn't mind. I'll take the money, man. Take the money, bro. Coy's 12th man saying, big up, Sean. You're right to have passion. Don't get the fans that don't. Yeah. Listen, if you guys want to go stay calm. That's you. You can stay calm. I'm fucking furious. Big up to you, mate. Appreciate you. Big up to Sava. Very cool of you, man. Very generous. Fail to prepare to fail. When you start the season unprepared, then this isn't a surprise. We have had all summer to sign what we need and haven't. You can't start game one you can't start game one this disorganized. Listen, the only things that are left to fix are the forward line, but the forward line wasn't responsible for the midfield battle today. And the forward line wasn't responsible for the defensive frailties, and it wasn't responsible for all the things into the channels. Sorry, I agree with you, Sava. Appreciate you, mate. I appreciate the super chat. But like people that are sitting there saying, had we had Savinho and Marmoush, the game would have been different. Square that circle for me, because the game was lost in the midfield. The game is lost, and we like our midfield is going to be. You might have occasional games where you have Tonali and Fernandes. You might have that in some games, but there's going to be games where one of them's injured or one of them whatever else. So it's about preparation. The players are good enough. They just weren't prepared well enough. They weren't structurally organized. They weren't tactically set up. And that is a fucking concern. If you're going to lose games against fucking Keith Andrews, what's going to happen when you go up against Xabi Alonso? What's going to happen when you go up against Iriola, who always out-tactics people? What's the conversation going to be when you go up against fucking David Moyes? What's the conversation going to be like when you go up against any of the guys that know how to organise and get the best, get more of the juice than the squeeze is worth?
Out of a whole team. Out of a whole team. And I think that's the point, because I do agree with Sav, that the lack of a forward line, and I think we basically just scrubbed this first game by not getting the players, the quality of players up front that we need in earlier in the window. I think we've scrubbed this first game. That's what I think. I think it's like, and that's why I always say there's 4 milestones in the window: when it opens, pre-season, when the Premier League starts, and when it closes. And so many people want to work to the last one. Well, no. We should work to the second one, right? And at worst, we should work to the third one. And yet we haven't solved the problems that we've got, even by the third one. Everyone's waiting until the last one, until the last window, until the last milestone. So, and it does affect the quality in the midfield. You're looking at Tonali, right, on the ball. I think you explained it so well, Sean, right? Tonali's looking up. And it's. Do you know what? It's like Romero on the ball. Everyone's going, he slows the game down, but he had no one to pass to because nobody works, right? Nobody works. Tonali's got Berghvall next to him, who unfortunately off the ball is an absolute bozo. He has no idea what to do off the ball. Either if we've got the ball and he hasn't got the ball, or if the other team's got the ball and he hasn't got the ball. He doesn't know what to do. He's like a headless chicken. And then the forward line needs to do different things than what they were doing to give De Zerbi's system, which is all about passing the lines. That's what Jim wants Savio for, is for the ball to go to him and for him to get round the back, right? But you can't do that unless you can get him the ball. So he needs to do some work to get the ball. And Tonali can't pass it to him.
He also, just quickly, I thought Tonali had an absolute stinker today. I really did, right? I thought
Massively.
I thought Berghvall was shocking. I thought Tonali was shocking. We'll talk about the fullbacks in a little while because I thought they were both. I'm sorry, Robertson was fucking absolutely slow as a fucking turtle at being turned into the corner. The only thing that saved Tottenham from getting 4-0 down at half-time was the fact that they went down Archie Gray's side more than they went down his, because when they went down the right-hand side, Robertson was all over the place. Robertson was playing centre-back and Mathys Tel was going into play left-back, which is a recipe for a nightmare. But they carried on down the Sade side. And so a lot of people are going to sit there and say, well, Archie Gray had a nightmare. He absolutely had a nightmare. He was all over the place. However, the exact same thing happened every time it went down Robertson's side. It just didn't go down Robertson's side as often. Okay, so let's not sit there and look at frequency and pretend that frequency equals the consistency, because it was consistency on both sides. It was out of control how bad they were at fullbacks. And then people are going to be like, well, Butler's calling out Mathys Tel. 100%. I'm not going to call out Mikey Moore because Mikey Moore's a kid. Mathys Tel, even though he's young, he's been doing this for 2.5 years. He should have done the parallel lines a lot better than he did. He didn't do it either. Mathys Tel had a marginally better game in the second half where he was a little bit more creative. But every time he got the ball, he turned and gave it back. But when Tonali and Berghvall were looking up, and there was 7 players that were in front of every Tottenham player in front in the first half, players like Mathys Tel, they don't want to go on the shoulder. They need to run parallel across the line and find the unoccupied space. They didn't, and that is on them as much as it is on Tonali, who gave the ball away, or Berghvall, who gave the ball away. So, there's a massive pizza pie of blame here to share. But ultimately, I think that the Zerbi takes a hell of a lot of it for not getting these guys prepared for this sort of game. Let me just quickly do the rest of these super chats, guys. Big up to Sam for that one. Daniel Larson says, "Can I join Sean and also the WhatsApp group?" Yeah, it'd be difficult to figure out how to do that right now, mate. I just reach out to me on Twitter, buddy. I can't figure it out now, mate. We're in the middle of a show, so you won't be able to join today. But join, message me on Twitter, mate, and we can figure it out. Big up to you, Daniel. Bungle says, Sean, loved your passion, mate. I'm with you. Was screaming all game. Appreciate you, Bungle. Yeah, listen, I'm not going to apologise to people that are telling me to calm down, unless they're saying it to me for my heart rate or whatever. But it's just then I appreciate the care and consideration. But ultimately, it's fucking game week 1, and that was atrocious. And I'm entitled to be fucking fuming. I'm fuming. Big up to Bungle. Thank you, mate. Lee Townsend says, it feels like we are dragging new players down to the usual standards rather than them increasing standards of existing players. Yeah, well, listen, like I say, it's the manager. The manager has to get the best out of this guy. Everyone's fallen in love with De Zerbi. De Zerbi's got to figure it out. And Newcastle at home next. And they are another big team, by the way. Newcastle are another massive team. So let's see, because they've sold a lot of players this summer, but they've sold most of their smaller guys. They've still got the units in there. So let's see if Newcastle do exactly the same thing, and we'll find out where we go from there. Sav is back in. Big up to you, Sav. Gray as captain. Why? What were the tactics? Sean is right. It's not that we lost, but it's how easily we're beaten. Starting a season with this many poor players is criminal. Had all summer. Yeah. Look, I mean, let's start with that. Kate, let me ask you. You there, Kate?
Yeah, I'm here.
Gray as captain. You. I was a bit like, I'm not a fan of this.
Well, no, I said, I assume he's done it because he's not going to get a lot of minutes, and he's kind of making him feel like he's important to the future of Tottenham. But for me,
so sentimentality FC sort of thing, yeah?
Yeah, the minute he walked out on that pitch leading the team, he looked nervous as hell to me. And I remember when Sonny got the captaincy and he went downhill a little bit, and everyone said the weight of the captaincy is too heavy for him. Now, I don't think Gray is a particularly great footballer. I think he's someone who can develop, but it's more pressure than he needs on such young shoulders. So for me, when you've got the likes of a Robbo or a Tonali or a Gallagher, whoever you want to pick, who are experienced football players of an older age, like, to give Gray the captaincy for this game on the first game of the season, after all this hype, all this rebuild and whatnot, was madness, if I'm honest. And he did look so, even when he was just stood there, he had his hands on he had his hands on the mascot, and I was looking at his face. He looked like my son if he was going up for a job interview. You know, he looked nervous as hell. He's probably about the same age. I don't know how old Archie Gray is. I can't remember. But it's 19, too much. Yeah. Too much too soon for me.
He's 19 years old, Jimbo. Like 19. And same he's the captain ahead of Robertson, who's 34, who's won everything in the game. And has been brought in to bring leadership to the fucking team. Like, anybody that was on board the Robertson transfer, anybody that was on board it that also said, I acknowledge that he's not the player that he was, the rationale for Robertson was he brings leadership. He brings dressing room, changing room, gravitas. He knows how to get through tough experiences. And then you've got a 19-year-old who's the captain, and Robertson's not even on the leadership squad. Is that not a fucking huge faux pas?
Yeah, it's like, it's strange. I mean, I don't know why he's done that. It is very strange. I mean, I would have. I've said this months ago. I would have put him out on loan as well, because even if he stays, right, what game time is he going to get? He's not going to get it.
He's not second choice, isn't he?
He's not. Yeah, well, only for right back. I can't see him going into the new season at the end of the window without another right back, Kate, after today. He's come out and said that he hates playing at right back.
Why is he on the leadership committee, Jimbo?
I don't know. I can't get my head around that.
He's
when
a
when
fucking child,
when it
man.
Yeah.
when it come out, he was captain today. I did think it was really strange. Maybe they.
Jimbo, you know that story about like when De Zerbi, when Maddison came out and said, "Oh, when De Zerbi came in, they took us all out for beers. We went to Mayfair."
Yeah,
If that thing happened on the pre-season tour in America, he wouldn't be allowed in the pub.
yeah, of course. It's 21. Yeah, I
And yet
know.
he's the captain of the fucking football club.
Yeah, that was a strange one. I don't know. Maybe they thought they were going to go out there today. Thought they were going to go out there and give them a good game. But look, there is positives to take out of it, Sean. The positives are that Roberto De Zerbi can look now and see that who he can and can't trust, right? And as for the midfield, I think Tonali was kind of a bit on his own, wasn't he? Because he wasn't getting any help from Berghvall. And how was he going to get the ball forward to the forwards? Because there was no movement. No one was trying to run into space. As you said, they were being marked all the time. I think to myself, when you get Fernandes in there and you get Maddison in there and you've got a new front three, right? That's when we see the best of Tonali. And it's also shown today that Senesi and Van Hecke is not a great partnership at the moment together. So the sooner Van der Ven gets back in there, and obviously Porro gets back in there.
On Archie Gray as captain, I don't know what we're not seeing, because we've seen plenty of videos, right, of Archie Gray. We've had an insight into his character. We've had all of these Maddison vlogs when he was getting fit, and Archie Gray and his best mate Brennan Johnson were goofing around all over the place. I don't get it. What are we not seeing that these people inside the club are seeing? Because what I see is a goofy kid. That's what I see, which is fine because he is. He's 20 years old. I was larking about when I was 20 at uni. I was off my. I was actually less said about that the better. I was like what I was like at 20, but he's just a kid. Why is he captain? I don't get it. This has to be under. I'm sorry, he's not beyond criticism. This is on De Zerbi, right? The question needs to be asked, mate. Why is Archie Gray part of the captain's group? Why is it?
Can you imagine Archie Gray going up to the likes of Robertson and Tonali and going, look, you're underperforming, pull your... They just look at him like, what? This kid has got no life experience. He's got... Yeah, exactly. He's got no real
2 words.
football experience. And I think straight away that sends out a message that the side is weak if you send out a captain that's 20 and looks nervous as shit when he comes out. But...
In the captain group,
really
in the captain's group, he's number 5, isn't he?
He should be number 11.
He shouldn't be in there.
They left out Conor Gallagher. They left out, and Conor Gallagher's a leader. He was a shit show.
They left out Tonali.
They left out Robertson. They left out Senesi. They left out all the experienced players. So we want proven players. So what does that mean? What does that mean? Infer from that, right? We're not going to go overseas to get players that aren't experienced. So you want players that are proven. So you want experience. Why? Because experience matters. But then you go and build the leadership team, and you're ignoring everybody that's the most experienced players in the team because they're new. And you're giving the captain's armband to a kid who can't even fucking vote in certain states in America and can't even go to a pub anywhere in America. And what are we like? It's just like the kind of the logic doesn't logic. Am I wrong? Right, you're looking at your point.
So Reece Jagger in the chat made a very, very good point. I can't remember who he said. Who did he say? So Ray Wilkins, captain Chelsea at 18. I completely agree with you. Right, and I was going to say it. I'm sure there were some 18 to 20-year-olds who were ready. I'm sure there was some 18 to, and I was trying to remember. I'm sure there was an Italian
But Ray
youngster as well,
Wilkins is
who
a
was
completely
like
different character.
exactly.
Completely
Also,
different.
there's
Exactly.
exceptions to the
Yeah.
rule, right? There's always exceptions to the rule. And see, what the fuck is America got to do with the Premier League? Nothing at all. Maybe it's a stupid example. I'm just pointing out that in certain places in the world, you can't do anything when you're 19 years old, but yet you're supposed to lead. You're right. I shouldn't have even mentioned America. Fair play, Kev. Fair fucking play, Kev. That's fair enough. Retract it. I'll retract it. Let's get on with these super chilly chit chats. Adam Gill 653 says it will take time to gel, but it's a fair concern we may have gone too far one way with our signings in terms of all passing technical smaller players in a league that's still bigger, faster, stronger. Any disagreement with that? Because I've been calling it out. I don't hate it, but when people go look at PSG, look at Barcelona in the early 2000s with Xavi, Iniesta, and blah 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 blah. Yeah, cool. But these players aren't them, and this league is different to La Liga. I think that Cody Gakpo is an essential ingredient because he's a big lad. But even him, he's not going to level up the average. So I think we've kind of made our bed a little bit. We're going to have to figure this out.
Maybe we need to get them special football boots with stilts built into them.
Just wait for the ankle injuries with that. Big up to you, Adam. Appreciate you, mate. Big up to Mark 09 says, I'm absolutely gutted and raging, but Jimbo is correct. Yeah, I think Jimbo tries to see the kind of the half glass full. I get it. I hear you. Big up to football. Big up to Sava again with another one. Big up to Sav. Very generous, mate, tonight. He says, all the while, this is our front three. I have zero expectations. Richie was hilariously bad and Moore just isn't ready. Tell, my thoughts. Farcical. Yeah, but if you're blaming the front three for today, mate, like the front three weren't responsible for the 3 goals that we conceded and it could have been 6. Let's be honest. So I hear you. But if you put Savinho on the right today and Marmoush in the 9, it still doesn't beat the fact that we were buried in the midfield and the defense and in the corners from set pieces. There's far more like bringing those guys in does not fix the aerial threat. It doesn't fix the midfield incombatants, and it doesn't fix our.
They look very disorganised, shown at the back. Very disorganised.
Super disorganised. And Brentford looked super organised. And they only played 2 games in pre-season, by the way. We played 7. I think they played 2.
Didn't they? They played Frankfurt, 3. Wickham and Wimbledon, I think.
Oh, okay. Was it 3, was it? Okay, yeah, fine.
Yeah. Definitely deserves a round out played 7. Played.
Yeah, exactly.
They were just run-outs when they were just cruising.
Listen, if your argument about why you're frustrated today, or the reason why we lost as easily as we did, is because Savinho wasn't on the park, and Marmoush wasn't on the park, and maybe Gakpo wasn't. I'm sorry, like maybe we get a couple of goals back, but the rest of the story carried on the way it was to some degree.
I'm still in the camp that I'm not sure Savinho fixes our problems. I really don't, and I still see Savinho and Tel as very much in the same place in terms of career development. In terms of their development,
you have to ball to them quickly, mate. You have to win the ball in transition. We didn't win any second balls today. Second balls are how you transition the thing. Right? If the ball gets lumped up to midfield and someone wins the header, if you don't win the second ball, if the other team does, you don't get to spread it to them in space. So
and you look today. You look today at Sade on their left. The amount of times that he fought and got the ball, and I don't see Tel and Savio fighting to get the ball in the same way. They're not yet there. They may be in 2 or 3 years, but they're not yet there right now. And yet, I'm really concerned because I see a lot of fans, pinning their hopes on the fact that we're that we're getting Savio and Marmoush. And I'll be brutally honest, I think they're going to come in, and I'm not expecting much for them.
Yeah, but that'll be a case of the proof's in the pudding, though, Rain, isn't it? None of us know. We'll have to just wait and see. But that really wasn't the problem today.
Also, you've got to think the players behind them are going to be a bit different as well. They're going to be better players behind them. If you get Fernandes in there, Maddison in there, Van der Ven, Porro, that's going to make a difference as well.
I definitely think getting our injured players on the pitch is probably the biggest thing that's missing. It's absolutely the biggest thing. So Kudus, Maddison, if Kulusevski, we can get Kulusevski back on the pitch. Xavi and Odegaard, that's not going to happen until December, January. When we get, we need to get Porro on the pitch. I'm very, very concerned that we're going in to this season with Archie Gray as our second right back, because he's so tame.
That is a massive worry, that one. You're right, Rain. That is one thing that does really worry me.
Guys, let's park the conversation for 1 second, and we're going to listen to the press conference now, and then we'll come back to this. There's lots of super chats and lots of other things to talk about. So just give us a little while. Let's hear what you have to say. Let me know if you can hear it in the chat. You guys hear that?
Was it fitness, not fighting hard enough, or too many new players?
For many reasons, I think we are not team yet. For a lot of reasons. Yesterday in press conference, when you asked me what is the target, the target we can fix the target when you become team. Before then become team, we can't say what we can do. For sure, we are not in the right point in physical condition for a lot of reasons. For the players, they came late after World Cup because in Australia we couldn't work in the right way for the trip, to don't take risk for the a lot of things, but are not excuse, are the normal situation when you are building a new project, a new process. I don't want time, but we have to pass through these problems. I couldn't lose confidence in my players. I believe in my players. I believe in my club. I believe in myself. I think we are working well, but in this moment, and I knew after Tottenham game, after Tottenham game, I said that we are not in the right point. We are late for the starts of the Premier League, but is a step. We have to improve quickly. Anyway, we could fight stronger than we did today. We lost too many duels. We made too many mistakes in the timing when we wanted to push the pressure higher. We arrived second on the second ball. We didn't win one second ball, one duel, one tackle.
Correct. Not one.
Stuff.
Not one.
But if you analyze everything, you can find that we played with 2007, 2006, Lucas Berghvall, the second goal. I think he didn't play bad today. Even I substituted in the halftime. But Lucas Berghvall, in the next 2 years, he will not lose that ball in that moment of the game. But there are steps to become better. Now the focus and the target is to become team. And then, because team, you can't become team for the transfer market window, for the players, the new players, the player of the paper. No. You become players, you become teams with the players. They find the connection between them. They find the spirit, they find the soul, what I said yesterday, and it's a process.
You mentioned the age of some of those players. I like him more and Tel as well. Did it show today you do need more experience up front in attacking?
No, for the attack area. For Archie Gray, the same, was shine today, like Lucas, many new players, maybe they have to find the connection. Sandro Tonali, Senesi and Van Hecke.
But quickly, he wasn't even asked about Archie Gray. He was asked about the forward line, and he went, no, but the same for Archie Gray as well. He was a shy today.
That is what he said, right? That is absolutely what he said.
He was asked about the forward line. He went, no, I'm not letting Archie Gray get away from this one. I'm going to fucking throw him under the bus.
I think I don't change idea. I think we are working well as a club, as a project. We need the time, like the big teams they have done in the last 10 years. So
obviously it's going to take a while for your players to gel, but given how
he's saying
he on
it's going to
Charlie?
take a while for the players to gel? I think he's asking.
Is he on
I'm
Charlie?
surprised. I'm suffering for this defeat.
He's talking really quick.
Or with the striker
Yeah, I'll
fix,
spell it
or
up. Spell it up.
we
I
are
know.
working. If you analyze last season, defensive line, Porro, Danso, Micky van de Ven, and Udogie. And today, Archie Gray, JP Van Hecke, Senesi, and Robertson. 4 new players. 2 midfielder, Rodrigo, Betancourt, Palinha. Today, 2 midfielder, Berghvall. Why not Betancourt? Because he came late in the preseason. In the preseason, we work with Lucas Berghvall. I think at the beginning of the season, at the beginning of the new project, was good, was right to give... to play with Lucas Berghvall. But I knew before the game, Lucas Berghvall, in this type of game, maybe he could suffer more than Rodrigo Betancourt, 30 years older, and Lucas 20. I knew before the game, but at the end, you have to think. We go and we try to build something good for the club. We need also Archie Gray, we need also Lucas Berghvall, or we work for today. And tomorrow, I don't know. For today, I agree. For the plan, for the project, what the club want, what we are in the direction we are working, I think is the normal process. Even we are suffering for defeat and we are shocking for this defeat, especially for the way we lost the game. Because they deserve to win and we play very, very bad.
Watch how slow it is at real pace.
Yesterday about
Listen faster, guys. Listen faster. Fucking hell.
I personally don't have a problem. I don't have a problem with listening at the speed it was at. I don't know.
What are you doing here?
Feet on the ground.
Be here until tomorrow.
To be fair, he's still speaking
Yes,
half
but
as fast as you
before before this game yesterday, I told you
I told you.
You asked me about the target, about the happiness for this transfer market window. I said, first of all, we have to fight to become team, and to become team in my home, there are 2 biggest conditions: the soul and the style of play. And today, we didn't show the soul and we didn't show the quality of the play with the ball and without the ball.
You can fucking listen to it if you don't want to.
These 2 conditions, I think we can become dangerous for everyone, every team. Until we can't, I feel until we don't arrive, we don't reach these conditions, we have to suffer. And today, I think is important for us, this defeat, because maybe we woke up stronger than we thought. Maybe.
Roberto, Archie Gray, youngest ever Spurs captain. Could you provide insight into the role you played this season?
Yeah, great. Hear this one.
Capitano più giovane nella storia del club, Archie Gray, quale ruolo avrà in questa stagione?
Archie Gray can play. Archie Gray can play as a fullback, as a midfielder. But I think it's much better than his performance today. But not just Archie Gray, also JP Van Hecke, Sandro Tonali, Richalison, everyone. We didn't play a good game.
New chicken flatbread and a 20-ounce fruit classic smoothie. Just
hang on.
Is it just me or did he dodge that question? He dodged that question.
No, hang on. Let me go in for a second. You can't have an ad within an ad. You get completely fucked. Let me wait for that to skip. We're back in the game. Here we go.
We need time, but to put. I think we are much better than we show today. So from Wednesday we can show our qualities and we can show who we are. But anyway, even if we win Wednesday or next Saturday, we need time to become team. Because to become team, we need time. We need time. We have to analyze the situation. We have to understand the situation, the improvement we have to do, every one of us, because we lose and we win together.
Last season, obviously, Tottenham were very strong from set pieces, but losing Romero and Bellini to the kind of big set piece players for Tottenham last season. How are you kind of trying to refocus that?
Brentford and set pieces are maybe the best team in Premier League. So it's normal suffer. I think we suffer more the duels, more the second ball.
Oh, maybe we've caught up with it in real time. Hang on. You go back to that then. What's happened there?
You know, losing. You kind of
suffer.
I don't know what's happened.
I think we are much better than we show today. So from Wednesday we can show our qualities and
against
we can show who we are. But anyway, even if we win Wednesday or next Saturday, we need time to become team. Because to become team, we need time. We need time. We have to analyze the situation. We have to understand the situation, improve.
And last season, obviously, Tottenham were very strong from set pieces, but you know, losing Romero and Collini to the kind of big set piece players for Tottenham last season. How are you kind of trying to refocus that?
Listen, Brentford in set pieces are maybe the best team in Premier League.
No, they're not. No, they're not. No, they're not.
Suffer. I think we
this
suffer
is a fucking problem.
more the
this is a
duels,
problem.
more the second ball.
Oh, this is the same point where it crashed last time. It's obviously the stream. All right, listen, we'll leave it there. We'll come back to it.
Who's he saying is the best team in the Premier League?
No, he said
Brentford are the best team at set pieces.
Oh, right.
I wanted to hear the answer to that because that was exactly the question that I'd be asking, right? Like, what on earth are we going to do when we come up against Newcastle, which is the next game, by the way? Like, I'm sorry, Kate, Jimbo, you've been on my stream. Rain, you're always on my stream. Like, you guys always, like, have I not been fucking talking about this as a massive problem forever? For ages and ages and ages, right? This is a fucking huge... If you are playing against Tottenham right now, you can look and go, yeah, you don't want to go onto a fucking one-on-one battle against them with a ball on the floor. So keep it in the air. Keep it... Brentford smashed us today tactically, and it was very fucking simple to do. Newcastle... I don't even know what the new manager is going to do for Newcastle, but I guarantee if Eddie Howe was here, he'd be straight in doing exactly the same fucking thing. And if De Zerbi's going to sit there and say that Brentford are the best at set pieces in the Premier League, that is pandering to an explanation, which is really an excuse. Am I wrong, Rain? Or Kate? Go on, Kate. Yeah.
No, I was going to say, you're absolutely right, and I also don't understand I knew Berghvall could suffer more than a Bentancur, and then he went on about something about the team. You play your best team. If you think Berghvall is going to struggle, why would you just try it anyway, just to make sure everyone feels like they're part of the team? You put who suits the team you're playing. So he was saying
Bentancur wasn't ready, Kate. That's what he meant to start.
Because of the World Cup.
Is that what he said?
Yeah.
They were out of the World Cup after the group stage. Uruguay had the horrendous World Cup. They didn't go any further than the group stage. It's mental.
It completely dodged the Archie Gray. Why would
the
captain?
This is why I always think that they should start. So I think you should always start with the best players you can put on the pitch, and if they've got to come off, you take them off because you might. I don't think we would have been battered so much in the first half, but look.
So apparently he said that Archie Gray was shy, not shite. Apparently that's what he said.
Is that what he said?
He said he's shy, and do you know what? That's exactly why he shouldn't be captain.
Exactly.
That's exactly why he shouldn't be captain.
You know what? It makes sense. It makes sense that you wouldn't say shite, right? But
no,
that's fair enough. That's fair enough.
But
funny at the time.
I respect him more.
Yeah. He's shy and he was shite though. Let's be honest. Listen, guys, there's still loads of super chats I haven't got to because we had to pause for that. I'm sorry that I don't know what's going with that link. But either way, Member Nigel C, big up to you, member for 10 months, says, that was a shit show. I'm opening my magnums. Big up to you, bro. I've had a few. Ox for left, big up to you. He says, does this force the club's hand to get a backup right back? Yeah, possibly. Jimbo's been talking about, he thinks there's 4 more, or 3 more after Savinho.
I'm convinced that they'll bring a right back in.
I hope De Zerbi's honest with himself after today, is what I'm saying, Jimbo. Go on, mate.
Yeah, I'm convinced they'll bring a right back in. I think he is the type of manager. He made mistakes today. There's no argument about it. But I think he's the type of manager that will sit back and realise that he fucked up. Look, we know what type of character he is. He wants to win, right? He wants to win, and he's not. He will learn, Sean, from days like today, without any shadow of a doubt.
I gotta inject some realism. They've shafted themselves with the non-homegrown quota, and there's people. I see people. I've been on streams with people who are now dancing around not registering injured players because they won't be back until January, February, as if that will fix the problem. It's not like we're going to sell players in January, is it? And now we're talking about solving other problems in the squad. We're not. I cannot see them signing 2 non-homegrown forwards and then going and signing a non-homegrown right back. I just don't know how they're going to make it work.
Yeah, I hear. There's lots of things to change, but I'm honestly more worried about the tactics than I am the signings right now. I'll be entirely honest. By the way, Sav, when I saw your super chat, Sav, and I know you put the thing in saying that wasn't what I was saying. I'm not saying that was what you were saying, but I'm just my personal opinion is that it doesn't. If you improve the forward line and you have the best forward lines in the world, but if you can't win the midfield battle and you can't win a second ball, then it doesn't matter. The ball's not getting to where you want it to be in the timeliness of where it wants to be. So that's my problem. My problem today wasn't like, it's not like if you had Savinho and Marmoush on the pitch that anything different would have happened. If you can't win the second ball, you can't win the aerial threats from midfield. If you can't fucking pick up the pockets and defend your spaces, those things are not forward line areas of concern. Yes, there's forward lines areas of concern, but we didn't get the ball to those front 3 for the first half. We were on the back foot. And we're not going to improve our defence any more than what we have. And we're not going to improve our midfield in all likelihood. So, like, my concern is that even if you had Osimhen today and you had Savinho and you had Gakpo or whoever else, Marmoush, whatever, like, I don't think the result would have changed because we lost the midfield battle and our midfield is supposed to be set. And even if it's not set, even if it is set, but like there's just people that are in there that won't be in there once Fernandes is fit, there's going to be periods in the fucking season when you're going to need to pivot to Bentancur or Berghvall, and Tonali needs to do better, and they didn't. And for me, it's more than just the transfer window isn't complete. It's the setup of the team for what we have wasn't good enough, which is where my frustration is. Joe Walters says, how can you get your midfield and defensive players in early for pre-season and not be solid enough? Embarrassing that we conceded 3 goals today and it could have been 5 or 6. I'm fuming. It'd be up to you, Joe. I'm 100% with you, mate. People telling me earlier on in the show, calm down, Butler. No, fucking get on board the problems. Like, get off the delusion train. Generally, sorry, but big up to you, Joe. I appreciate you. Espen Anderson, what a name. Love that. Says, we know this attack is shite. More worrying is our new and fixed defence. 26 shots and 4 XG against. There's a stat that's going to worry you.
I'm very worried about Van Hecke because I saw a player last season who was imperious, who was passing stuff around, who was dominant at the back, and you don't want to take anything from pre-season. Pre-seasons aren't competitive, but he has brought through what he was doing in pre-season, where he was losing men and he looked nervous, into this game, and that needs to go. We need the confident, imperious Van Hecke, not the nervous Van Hecke, because otherwise it's going to be a very long season.
Yeah, Kate Jimbo. Okay, I'll come to you first. I think this is actually a bullet point, fucking straight to like a sniper rifle, straight to the skull. We know this attack is shit, But more worrying is our new and fixed defence, 26 shots against.
Yeah, I know. I saw that, 8 on target. If I would have been De Zerbi today, I would have took Van Hecke off at half-time and I would have put Danso on. And I've been one of these people that's been, I don't think Danso suits the system, but I didn't see the system today. And I think Danso would have been better in that team for me today than Van Hecke. And it's concerning. In fact, it's really concerning because I wasn't impressed with Van Hecke or Senesi today. I thought they both looked... I mean, Van Hecke threw himself in front of a ball, but apart from that, he didn't really do anything else. They both looked wasteful. They both didn't look confident. They didn't look like they knew what the other one was doing. The whole performance was, as Jamie O'Hara would say, an absolute shambles. It really was. There was no clear direction, and like I say, you could see.
Are you worried, Kate? Are you worried?
I am a little worried, yeah, if you want to know the truth, Sean, because like I say, it's come as a bit of I'm a bit shell shook because I never saw that happening where every single area looked so bad, and especially when our defence, I know we haven't got Van der Ven, but I don't know, it looked like they had no direction. They didn't know what they were doing, and there was no changes made at half time. Okay, there was a couple of personnel changes, but no tactics were changed. And straight away we conceded another goal, and then we just carry on. It felt, like De Zerbi. It felt like a manager that was coming to the end of his tenure and didn't know what he was doing, than a manager that was just starting his. And I'm not De Zerbi. Everyone knows I love De Zerbi, but at the same time, like you say, you've got to say what you see with your eyes, and it was just a disorganised mess, really.
Ask me, Sean. Ask me if I'm worried.
I'm about to ask you, Jimbo. I'm about to fucking ask you right now, Jimbo. Are you worried, Jimbo?
Not one fucking bit. Not one bit. There is nothing in my body, right, that's sitting here thinking I'm fucking worried. Not one bit. Right?
Why not, mate?
They look terrible today. They look disorganised, right? We know Van Hecke and we know Senesi can play football, right? Today was just a complete shambles. It's the first game, and it was really disappointing. And we wanted to go out there and put a stamp on who we're going to be. But there was too many players out there that just are not good enough. And I think that it's kind of filtered through the team, right? And I'm not worried at all, Sean. We know he's a good manager, right? It will get sorted.
Will you be worried if we get bullied and decimated against Newcastle at home?
Look, after today, I'm hoping we're never going to see shambles like that again. That he's going to sort it out, and when we play Newcastle, there'll be other players back in, and hopefully new players in the club, that have signed. So I'm hoping that we don't see this again. If I see this again, right, against Newcastle, and then ask me that question again. But
I'll tell you what you are going to see against Newcastle is exactly the same fucking tactic. You're going to see exactly the same thing. Newcastle will pump it long. They'll pump it into channels. They'll look to win second balls, and they'll look to aerially dominate. 100% you will see that exact same game. Will Richalison be able to win? And if he's not if Marmoush is in play, do you expect Marmoush to be able to win the long ball from Kinsky? Because if you don't, if you had higher hopes of Richarlison being able to do it, then good luck against fucking Dan Burn, who's 6'7". You know what I mean?
All right, well, look, he gets paid 60 million for a 5-year contract to sort things like this out. Let's see what he does. Right, let's see what he does.
Right. You're not worried, no?
Not at the minute, no.
I'm still concerned about the number 10. Massively concerned.
But to be fair, Sean, there's not a lot in life I do worry about.
that is true. If it's any more laid back,
I'd love to get Jimbo on the rabbit hole ramblings when I go, mate, are you not concerned about World War III? Not really, Sean. To be honest.
Jim, where are we finishing this season?
Hang on, we'll come to that.
I was going to say, don't ask me that question tonight.
I'm not asking that yet. Let me do some super chilly chit chats, and we'll finish this off. Big Country Chris says some poor blonde from Beaver Street is getting it later. Not tonight, maybe Wednesday. Certainly on Halloween. Certainly on Halloween. Big up to you, Big Country Chris. Nigel C says, looked like we were still in Australia. 100% Nigel. Yeah, it's fucking poor, man. Absolutely poor. Thank you for your support. Top Shelf Spurs says, we look like we were an England international friendly squad that had just got together today. Didn't we just, man? This is what I'm worried about.
I've got someone in the chat telling me I'm a mug. Thank you.
Don't worry about that. Don't worry about that. Don't worry about the chat. The chat's full of bozos.
Your face, Jim. Don't worry about that.
The chat's full of bozos today. Not this particular. Well, most of the chat's been. The chat's always great, but a lot of the chat today have been fucking mugs. To be honest, I've been falling out with people that are members. I can only imagine that they're members that were gifted memberships because if you don't know me by now. Anyway, Boys 12th Man says, hope we get Martinez, Gakpo, Marmouche, and Osman. Yeah, good luck. That's not happening, Coisy. That's not happening, bro. But we'll get maybe one or two of them, but I don't know about the rest. But I don't think that doesn't solve it. What solves us is getting a midfield fucking platter together, a smorgasbord of options of people understanding each other's game, and that's got to be fixed by the guy on the bench who's getting paid 60. Was it you who said? Was it you, Jimbo? Said 60 million quid for 4 years? Is that what you said?
5 years.
60 million quid, yeah?
Yeah.
Earn your fucking keep then. Earn your keep because sitting there talking about taking
exactly
players out and getting drunk, like good vibes is not fucking good results. So
I tell you one thing that does. Don't worry me, but I don't understand. Is the Berghvall and the Gray situation? I don't understand that.
Yeah, well, I'm happy to see the back of Berghvall. I always was anyway. 60 million quid is good money. The Gray situation, I think you have to keep one of them. Or in an ideal world, you could find a way to keep both. But if Berghvall shouldn't have started ahead of Bentancur, I don't believe that Bentancur was tired from the Uruguay. They were out after the group stage. That's a load of bollocks. Bentancur was better than Berghvall. Bentancur is a better player than Berghvall, so Bentancur should have played. But Archie Gray being captain, we have to analyse that this week. You guys do on your channel. We have to look at it this week as well because it's a massive fucking issue. It's a huge fucking concern around what is that about? What is that about? It's ridiculous. Nigel C says, I've seen more forward runs on a Sunday at Hackney Marshes. Our front three were mannequins. They were. Listen, you know I'm a reasonable guy, right? I love Mathys Tel, but I thought he was the better of the three in the second half. Richalison was terrible, but in the first half, Mathys Tel was terrible. And Mikey Moore didn't do anything. But when he had a couple of chances. Mikey Moore had a couple of chances, and they were good saves from Keller. So
they all wanted to feet, Sean. They all wanted to feet all the time. They wanted to feet. Yeah. Sometimes you need to make a run, right? And I'm going to go back. Sade, you look at him today. He fought. He was fighting for the ball. The ball was coming up to him. He was fighting, and he was overpowering Archie Gray. And our forwards needed to have that chutzpah about them.
I love that word, chutzpah. I love it. Guys, don't forget, I'm about to show everyone the aggregated results from the player match rate, the player ratings. So if you haven't already, go to Spurs Hub. If you haven't already, sign up. Also, don't forget, and then go to spurshub.co.uk/ratings. Get your ratings in. Don't forget to subscribe to Kate and Jimbo. I've been putting the link in. They're wonderful people. Their channel's thriving and absolutely bouncing right now. So make sure you support these guys. They're always on the channel and they don't ask anything from me. So they're awesome. They're great people. We love them. We had a wonderful chat earlier on about a 6-foot animal royale, and we'll talk about that at some point this week. Not the time today.
I'll tell you one thing I'm going to ask out of you, Sean. I'm going to ask that on Halloween, I do not have a bedroom in that hotel anywhere near yours. If you're going to Viva Street, I don't want to be anywhere near your bedroom.
I'm not going to Viva Street. Viva Street comes to me in hotels.
Wherever. We are having a room at the opposite end of the hotel. I'm telling you that.
You get given what you're given, you know?
That's
I might be knocking on the door at 4 o'clock in the morning. Jimbo, you got any more Johnnies? You know? Jimbo's gonna feed them under the fucking door to me. Get a ruler and poke it through. Listen, please subscribe to Kate and Jimbo. And if Rain had a channel that I would plug from, I absolutely would.
I want to know what makes you think that I have Johnnies. Sure.
No, you probably, you're right. Maybe not. Maybe not.
Fucking hell, I'll
How
probably
about this,
shoot.
Jimbo? You got any of those little blue pills? You got any of those little blue pills, buddy?
Yeah, that's more like it. At my age, I'm probably shooting blanks.
Jimbo, I need one of those little blue ones, bro. I can feed it under the door, you know? Big up to Adam Feldman for the jewels. Appreciate you, mate. Very cool of you, my man. Jewels o'clock. Vice City, despite all this crap I heard on TalkSport, it's winding me up from Gabby and Ratatata from Kate in the same bloody show. Yeah, that was a fucking brilliant show, brother. Brilliant calling from you, Kate. Yeah, you've got them on. You've got them on the hook. But if you call in tomorrow, they're going to have you. They're going to have you.
They're only on Fridays, and I'm hiding. I'm going to be busy on Friday. I'm just saying.
Fair enough. Big up to you, Cap Fun. Matt C says that preseason we had was useless, waste of time. Completely agree. Terrible. Big up to the Jules from One Spurs King. Phil Coy says, I'll fall out with you, Sean. I'm in the fucking mood. I'll fall out with you, bro. I'll fall out with anyone right now. You don't want to fucking push my buttons, my man. Like, you want to fall out? You want to go? We can go, bro. I'm not in the mood when Tottenham lose. Even my old man, I sent my old man a fucking nasty message back saying, chill out, Dad. You got your own problems to worry about. Don't worry about me. Telling me to calm down. Who do you think you are? Rob Brown says, are Fernandes and Tonali enough, or do we need to sell Sarr and upgrade Bentancur for a stronger core?
Absolutely 100%. But I'm going to come back to what Jim said earlier in the show. We can't do it all in one window. Yeah, we've made so many changes, and that's why it's going to be layers. That's why it's going to be window after window after window, because next window we have to get better. We have to get lots better forwards, right? It has to be. This is not a one window rebuild, folks. We've finished 17th twice, right?
Yeah, I hear you, mate. I hear you. Listen, guys, what we're going to do now, I'm going to take a little pivot to, this is where I really want everyone who's watching. There's 1,100 people here, 1,200 people here. Love to see it. It's been a very popular show. Appreciate all the support. Please do make sure you get over to Kate and Jimbo, right? It's really important. I think Kate just told me that she's actually lost subscribers from being on the show today.
It's Jimbo's fault. It's Jimbo's fault with his delusion.
You got to go in the wind, the direction of the wind. You know, if you're yesterday, Jimbo, you were being like, oh, you know what? Everything's great. We're going to win the league. Everyone was on board it. Today, if you're playing that same tune today, no one wants to hear Mozart when Beethoven's in play. You know, it's one of those things. You got to adapt.
Well, in my predictions, I put 5th or 6th. Right, and now we can change that at the end of the window, but at the minute it ain't being changed.
Listen, let's. Sorry, Van, you were going to say something there, mate.
No, he said his finger slipped when he unsubscribed.
My finger slipped the subscriber. But Jim, I don't. We may well be, around mid-table, at the turn, at the halfway point, right? We may be sort of 9th to 11th. There is nothing to say that De Zerbi doesn't get into these players one game a week, let's remember, doesn't get into these players and turn this around so they actually play like they understand how to play football. As opposed
I'm not worried, Rain. I'm not worried. I'm sure that he's going to sort this out. And I'm sure we won't see some of these players back on that pitch again. So, but the only thing is the proof's going to be in the pudding, and then let's see over the next month.
So here we got the best performances today. I didn't get a chance to vote for Fernandes because I didn't realise it. After I put my votes in, I had to then go and fix his absence. But sorry that he wasn't in the initial squad. I apologise. But the average rate for him in today's session was 5.1. When it says season, there's like a few votes that were left in the MK Dons thing that should be cleared out. So forget about that. That will figure itself out very quickly. 5.1 for Fernandes. Andy Robertson got a 4.5. I gave him a 4. Rodrigo Bent. What did you guys give Andy Robertson, by the way? Or what? If you haven't put the results in, what would you have given Andy Robertson? Kate, Jimbo, Rain.
I'd give him a 4.
I'd give him a 4.5.
There's no half.
I'd give him a 4.
Fours, yeah. Okay. I gave Rodney Bentancur a 5. He got given a 4.4 on average from 78 votes. I'll leave this open for a couple of days if anyone's watching this after the fact.
Thing is, I think second half players got a bit of an easier ride. I think Brentford were absolutely like, especially after the goal on the 49th minute, it's like job done. You know, it's job done. It's so, and you can see they're at the top of this table, right?
Yeah, most of these players are second half. So yeah, 100%. Antonin Kinsky got 84 votes, or has had 84 votes. I gave him a 4.1. Mathys Tel got a 4. I gave him a 4. I mean, I'm glad to see there's nobody that's bigger. Like the highest position is a 5 at best. Marcos Senesi got a 4. I gave him a 4. Would you guys have given him anything different?
3.5.
Yeah, I think I'd have given him 3.
There's no halves, Kate. There's no halves. It's out of 10.
All right, 3 then.
Okay.
And I'd give Kinsky 3 as well. Thought he was shocking today.
Yeah, I thought Kinsky was shocking. Maddison got a 5 from me. He got a 3.9 from 76 other people. Any change on that?
No, I'd have given him a 4.
Who's that, Sean?
Madders.
I'll be brutally honest. I didn't really see enough from him.
I thought he tried to find pockets, right? Which is what I'm looking for.
Yeah,
he did. Cross, but there was no one there to meet him.
But I'm looking for pocket. If you've got an organised, rigid defence, because I was saying in the first half, right, you've got to find fucking lateral passes, lateral movement. You've got to do something to find space because they were all sitting in front of us.
Yeah,
it's so obvious. I've never played football in my fucking life. Never played football in my life. Never coached. Never taken a badge. Never done any of that bollocks. But it's not rocket science. If people are sitting in front of you, then you have the option of moving behind which they can't see. This isn't. I don't think you need a fucking UEFA B license to fucking recognise that if they're moving, if the people are in front of you, then you have the option of them not knowing what you're doing, right?
Groundbreaking stuff there.
Groundbreaking stuff. But I actually thought Maddison tried to do that. So that's why I gave him a 5, right? But everyone else said no, actually he's a 3.9. Fair enough.
Sean, I'm with you. I would have given him a 5. I thought when he come on to a shit show and he was really trying to get something happen, make something happen.
Yeah. Nothing happened, which is a problem. But
he tried.
Yeah, you get an extra point for trying, right? Micky Moore, I gave a 4. The average spot of 82 votes was 3.9. We seem to be all in the same sort of part. Destiny Udogie, I gave a 5 to. I'm not really sure why. I just gave it to. I missed the first 15 minutes of the second half, so I don't know. But I gave him a 5. Everyone gave him a 3.9. Am I wrong for a 5? Probably.
I would give him a 4.
Okay, yeah, me too.
Fair enough. After that, Tonali, I gave a 3 to. The average rating was 3.7, 83 votes. What would you guys have given?
I'd give him a 3.
I'd have given him a 3 as well. Right?
Yeah.
I think he worked really hard. I don't blame what happened today on Tonali personally. I blame what's happening around him. So Maddison is a really good example. Maddison is a player, Sean, who absolutely is going to work hard, right? Who's always worked hard. In fact, we used to criticise him for not staying in the 10, for coming back, for trying to make that space. And no one was making that space for Tonali. But what we did see from Tonali today was he kept getting on the ball. He kept trying to do it. He just had no options. So I think a 3 personally is a 3 on output, but not a 3 on effort. If I was going to put it that way.
No, I thought the first 15, 20 minutes, I didn't even realise he was on the pitch.
He kept giving the ball away as well.
Yeah, where did we get to? We got to was that Tonali? Yeah,
Tonali. Yeah.
So Van Hecke, I gave a 3 to. I thought he was absolutely atrocious. I thought he was so bad today. His passing was shocking, and yes, the passing needs to have recipients that are moving. But if we signed him as a passer, didn't see it, and his defensive frailties that we're all aware of were exposed wildly. And by the way, like even if Pedro Porro comes back, let's be honest. Every single team is going to go down that right-hand side of ours because he's not as good as Romero at handling problems, and Porro is no better than Archie Gray. So I genuinely think that this is going to be problematic. I like the guy's playability, and he might be able to do things with the ball, but I didn't see it today. But I'm really seriously concerned. I would love it if Tottenham were to go and drop some money on. You know what? It's not going to happen now, so it's kind of irrelevant. But
Well, they was talking that they were looking.
Yeah, the guy from Atalanta, Scalvini, I think his name is a player that we're looking at. I'm a little bit concerned about this guy. I really am. I've had this thought. It's not like I'm saying it for the first time. I'm genuinely concerned that when we are up against it, that him and then our weakness at right back. If you go and get me a Munoz or someone else who's a bit bigger, a bit stronger, and knows how to, or you go and get a Neco Williams or someone who's more balanced, but Pedro Porro and him, that is an angle that everyone's going to attack all year. I went for 3. They went for the chat went for 3.3. So we're similar.
And certainly Archie Gray and him.
Yeah. Well, Archie Gray also gave a 3.2 and the chat gave 3.3. What did you guys give for those two players?
3 on both.
Okay.
Yeah.
I gave De Zerbi a 2. I thought he fucked it completely today. I thought he was absolutely atrocious. The chat gave him 3.2. I thought De Zerbi was appalling.
I mean, he was very relaxed, wasn't he? It was very much, this is where we are. He was very, 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 very relaxed about it, Sean. I'm
going to give him a 0.
Yeah.
Yeah,
a 0.
I am as well. I think his team selection was all wrong.
I think the team selection was diabolically bad. I think the making Gray captain was diabolically bad. And I think that he should have changed things before he did change things.
Yeah.
I think he should have made changes in the first half. So for me, he gets a 0. And for me to give De Zerbi a 0, because I love him. But today, I just think he was just... The whole team was off it, and I think De Zerbi was off it today as well.
Yeah, he wasn't even animated, like you say. You expect to see him up, and he just wasn't. It was weird.
Yeah. All right. Let me finish this off. Where am I going? Here we go. We got to, where did we get to? De Zerbi. Conor Gallagher, I gave a 3. The average gave a 2.8. Fucking hell. 83 votes. 83 votes. And he got 2.8 average. I mean, that's how disappointing everyone is, right? We're talking really poor from him. I thought his movement was shocking. I don't think he won any duels, very few duels. I'll have a look at tomorrow. Maybe we'll do it. But like his average rating versus the actual stats. But anyone want to disagree with that?
No, I think less.
I would have given him a 1. I don't rate him anyway, but I thought he was shocking today.
All right. I gave Dominic Solanke a 4, but again, it was only because he played however many minutes he did. And fair enough. Fair enough. 80 votes.
He touched the ball 5 times in 25 minutes.
Yeah. Okay. Fair enough.
No, but that's shocking.
And then after that, that is shocking. Yeah, that is shocking.
Work harder.
Kevin Danso didn't play, but people gave him a score. Ben Davies didn't play. People gave him a score.
Higher than some of the others as well.
That's hilarious. Richalison, I gave a 4. 83 people voted and gave him a 2.1.
I would have given him a 1. I
would have given him a 1. I thought he was absolutely terrible.
Totally non-existent.
Yeah, he was.
You need to explain that 4. What on earth would you see?
I think it was the first name that came up in my listing, and then I gave him a 4. But I probably had it because I gave others weaker scores after. So maybe you hadn't
worked out the relativity at that point.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. Yeah.
So I think it's a 1. He's actually and that's because I don't know. Could we give a 0 or a negative? Because honestly,
you can't give negative. You might be able to give 0. I'm not sure.
I think he's a negative influence on the team. I know what you're saying about the forwards, but if you've got a forward
he was absolutely fucking atrocious today.
If you've got a forward up front who can dominate the centre backs and you can pop the ball to and it sticks, then everything else works a little bit better. everything else works. Everything
you're
else.
right. I should never have given
the
him
all sort of goes, and everybody gets a bit more confident as well. When you've got somebody like Richarlison who's falling over all the time, who's completely dominated by centre backs, and who can't control the ball, then the whole team just falls to jelly.
Yeah, I'm with you.
Bod the cap in there. Sorry, Sean. Bod the cap in the chat said, "Why are people giving Richarlison a scoring? He never played."
Yeah, listen. People are mad at me for giving him a 4. I shouldn't have given him a 4. You're right. I think he was the first name that popped up on the list. I thought maybe the relativity thing came up because you're right. When I look back at it, you're right. He should have been. If someone like, I don't know, if Conor Gallagher was a 3, then Richarlison was definitely a 2. So, or 1 or whatever else. But I just didn't want to be too cruel. And then Lucas Berghvall, I've had the confidence to give him a 2. You know what? I fucked up there. He's got twice the score line of Lucas Berghvall. I apologise. Guys, this thing's going to stay open for the next day or 2 before we close out the rating. So make sure you get your votes in. And then Dubravka has had 4 people have given him an actual score line. He didn't play. He couldn't have done anything. But
he touched the ball. He touched the ball more than Richie. He picked it up when it was a throw and he gave it back to him.
Yeah. 83 votes have all given him a 2 as well, Berghvall. So we're all on the same page. For the most part, we're all on the same page, right? It's been dog shit. Ignore the average scores because that includes. Maybe I'll try and find a way to remove it. I used the MK Dons thing as a test. I'll remove them, so the average should be all as it is. But guys, make sure you go over to SpursTalk.uk and we'll do this. And all of your scores are going to be recorded and tracked, so you can track over the season your average rating versus everybody else's. And hopefully there'll be more than like 80 votes or whatever. Obviously, it's a new feature, so participate. But big up to you all. Appreciate you for doing that.
You've reminded me. Actually, I haven't gone and checked on my prediction. Are we going to have a predictions show where we go and have a look at the average? Yeah, the average predictions that the community has done.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, that's gonna happen on some point between Tuesday and Thursday, I guess, before after the first round and before the second round. Nigel C's big up says, "How about hitting the likes for these great people for letting us talk about the game?" Yeah, I appreciate that, mate. Thank you very much. Please do smash the like. You know what you got to do. Hit the subscribe. But most importantly, make sure you get over to these wonderful people, right? We love Kate and Jimbo, right? They've become very, very close friends over the summer. I've always loved them, but we've got to know each other incredibly well. You won't believe the conversation that we had earlier on this morning. I phoned them up because of the whole hippo versus the elephant thing with Jimbo and Kate. I phoned them up. With Drew and Hugo, and we had a 45-minute chat about if every animal that's a mammal, not an insect, became a 6-foot version of themselves. So some creatures are going to get smaller to shrink down, and others are going to giant up. Who wins in a fight? And it turned into a 45-minute argument. And it was
the duck. It's the duck, isn't it? It's the duck.
No, my argument was that it's the hedgehog, but Kate and Jimbo introduced me to a creature that I didn't even know existed called a wolverine. I thought a wolverine was a wolf. Turned out that a wolverine's actually a part of the weasel family, and but they're actually up there in the chances in a 6-foot version of themselves. Anyway.
WPW's got it. It's the honey badger.
Yeah, the honey badger. One of them. Yeah, definitely. But listen, I disagree because you could go to a honey badger is fearless and aggressive, right? And so I feel like we brought into this game like what happens if a badger was to goad the honey badger into an argument and then say something along the lines of "suck your mum," And they go, "What'd you say? What'd you say about my mum?" They go, "Yeah, you heard what I said." And then just as it's about to launch itself, it turns itself into a ball. And don't forget, if you've got a bat like a hedgehog that's this size and it rolls into a ball, but you amplify that to 6 foot, you're talking about javelin length, like pole vault length of spikes. And that honey badger's so fearless, it's going to impale itself on the. He's a defensive animal, the hedgehog, but he knows what he's doing. Is all I'm saying. Anyway,
Sean, I've seen a video right on a wildlife
Here we
program
go.
where a honey badger actually attacks an elephant.
Yeah, we watched
what I mean. They're aggressive.
Yeah.
They're aggressive. You know what? The thing is that aggressive creatures can be goaded. All I'm saying, if you give me 5 minutes with a hedgehog and I teach it how to encourage the pull on, you sit there, you sit there going, you got to defend, but occasionally you got to throw your face out there, then whip it back, and then roll into your ball, and the honey badger's going to go, what'd you say? And then impale itself. All of a sudden, honey badger's out, hedgehog goes through to round 2, Jimbo. And it's like, come on now. There's an argument here for the honey badger, but there's also a strong argument for the hedgehog.
I think we need to go and visit Danny Kaye and do some sessions out there and get into this a little bit more.
Yeah. Let's not get sidetracked. I can see the viewers going, I've had enough of this conversation.
Just quickly, what did you make of the referee today?
Oh, let's talk about him for a fucking minute, shall we, Kate? Appreciate you. I was about to fucking end off, but that winds me up. Oliver, mate. He gave a penalty. He gave a penalty for Mathys Tel, knocking the back of the head. 5 minutes earlier, Richalison gets bodied, thrown off his feet. There was no acting from Richalison, and Oliver says, no, nothing to see here. What are we doing there? Michael Oliver is the most anti-Tottenham referee in the game. Am I wrong?
No, and you can't blame the result on the ref, but he was a disgrace
No, of course not.
today.
No, of course not. But he gives some decisions to them that were just diabolical. There was one where he just took, I can't remember who it was, legs away, and he gave them the fucking free kick. And it's like, what the fuck is going on here? There was a couple where they got pulled down by their shirts, and when he fell on him, he gave the free kick to them. But obviously, it wasn't the ref that lost us the game. But he made some terrible decisions. When Kate said this ref don't like us, I thought he can't be that bad. But I thought he was terrible today.
Yeah.
Alex, how you doing, mate? You all right, bro?
Hey, guys.
Before I bring you in, Alex, sorry, Kate was about to say her piece.
No, I was just going to say, someone put in the chat, it's the 10th penalty he's given against us, Michael Oliver. So that speaks volume.
I can't stand him. He's the most. He's like, he didn't need to be biased against us today. We did that to ourselves. But
exactly.
Why doesn't he like us?
Because he's a boomer.
No, he's a Newcastle fan, and he's I don't know. Whatever, it is what it is. Alex, we weren't going to go much longer, mate. We're about to round off.
Yes, that's totally fine. I just want to say a few things. Hi, guys. I'm Alex from Vienna, Austria. Jimbo, I like your views. You're a very positive person, and I support that. I'm absolutely not worried. Roberto De Zerbi is known to be a very good coach. He will develop the players. They don't have had the time to work with him for a long time. Also Berghvall, he was at the World Cup. Yes, he had a shocker today, but I'm probably here in the minority, but I'm really happy that he's going to stay, because next year we will be happy to have him if we play internationally, and I'm pretty sure we will, because I still believe in De Zerbi and the path that we are going. Don't know why, because after that game today, I mean, as I said, I'm a positive person. I was like, okay, that shouldn't have happened, but it did. We were overrun in the midfield in a way that I really thought it was not possible with Tonali. But despite that, I just want to conclude, next year we will be happy to have at least 2 homegrown players, 3 if you also count in Austin. And we're going to be happy to have them. And I believe in the potential of Berghvall. He's not there yet. Yes, I agree, like Mikey Moore. He's not there yet, but De Zerbi is able to develop the players. And he's really, I know, that's what we said last year, if you remember. Thomas Frank, he's good in developing players, but De Zerbi really is. And that's all I wanted to say, because I also wanted to break up this ridiculous discussion about 6 feet animals. Like that's I'm sorry. It's still a football thing here.
Well, there is a conversation about 6 feet animals on the football pitch, though, Alex. Come on now. Is that not
that size?
I'm concerned, but I've been concerned for a long time. People keep calling me heightist. It's a problem, and today it proved to be accurate. Am I wrong?
No, that's true. Actually, that's quite obvious. We only have one. Well, Kevin Danso, he wins all of his aerial duels, but and I am Austrian, but I cannot defend his passing. It's not really good. But in battles like this, you're happy to have him. But despite that, I was very disappointed by Van Hecke, because he didn't defend well and he didn't pass well. And I'm like, yeah, well, then you can let Danso play, because at least he defends well. But I think the gelling, it will take some time. And I know it's not what Tottenham fans want to hear. They say that, like, be patient, but we need a little bit of patience. And there's one thing that was winding me up. I was following and I was listening to all of your shows in the last couple of weeks. And there was this argument in every single show. Yeah, but we finished 17th twice in a row. And I'm like, yeah, but we also became 4th in the Champions League phase. And nobody's mentioning that. And I'm sorry, that's an accomplishment. And you're going to go like, but why we were playing Champions League? We finished 17th twice. Yes, we also won a trophy. And it's just a year ago, a little bit over a year. And everything seems to be totally forgotten. Yeah, because you're such a miserable, negative lot. That's what you are. That's why you need someone from Austria. And like with
who are you calling miserable and negative? Why are you doing this? Look at him. Kick him out.
Alex, I think what you're.
Oh, I'm only kidding.
I think what you're missing in the Champions League / Premier League comparison is going back to the start of the show, going back to the start of this post-match. I said everybody needs to be reminded of what the Premier League actually is, and this is what the Premier League. It is a battle. It is an absolute fight, especially these days. Teams don't even score as many goals as they used to. It's all a battle. It's all a fight. Even more so than the Champions League. So it's not something that we need to talk about. And I will just say, I agree with you absolutely that Spurs fans. I've been trying to say it myself that there needs to be some tempering of expectations. The problem is, I know what the stadium is like. I've been in the stadium for how many I've been in this stadium since it's opened. I was a Wembley entrant. I used to go to White Hart Lane regularly, and I can tell you this: the stadium is not going to give De Zerbi the time that he needs, and I hope I'm wrong.
I have to say something for that. I'm from Austria, so I'm not a super rich man. I'm also not super poor, but I'm saving money. I'm saving money so that at least every 2 years I can take a flight to London and get a ticket for the stadium and watch a Tottenham Hotspur game. For me, that's something really special, and I envy all of you who have season tickets, or at least opportunity to get season tickets. And Jimbo said, I think it was yesterday or 2 days ago, that we have the best fans. And unfortunately, I happened to see last year, I think it was end of November, beginning of December, the Fulham game at home, where we went 2-0 down after a couple of minutes with Vicario, with this horrible pass to the Fulham player. You remember that? And the whole stadium was booing the own player. And when he then kicked the ball to a Tottenham player, they were like sarcastical cheering, but in a sarcastical way. And I have to admit, this is not what I would call the best fans, because I was shocked. For me, I was so excited to go there, and I was in a stadium with a miserable mood. And you must also understand, if you're a foreigner and you buy a ticket on, like I had to get it from a broker, you only get tickets right above the away end. So
Okay,
the only thing I hear...
First of all, Alex, there's a couple of things I want to say to you. First of all, you better make sure that you're coming to the Crystal Palace game in October, because we've got everybody over the Crystal Palace games. Okay? Second of all, if you ever need a ticket for a home game, don't buy it from a broker. Reach out to me. I'll be able to put you in touch with people that can find you a ticket. There's always people in our circle that can get you a ticket.
Oh, that would be my dream once, to be in the South Stand.
Just go into our WhatsApp chat.
Somebody
will help you. And actually, I can't go to the Drew match because I'm on holiday, because it's half term. The Drew match. I'm calling it Drew match.
The Drew match.
The Drew match.
Crystal Palace.
So do you know what? There's a free ticket here, mate. Okay?
There you go.
That's very kind of you. But this year, it's I said every 2 years. So
but more importantly,
but I will come back to that. I really will.
More importantly, though, Alex, you have to also understand that the home fans are sick and tired, because over the last 2 years we've watched maybe 3 home wins in 2 years. It's like unacceptable, and so people it takes me 3 hours to get to the game. Right, it's a lot of fucking money. It's a lot of money if you stay up there, if you get hotels, if like Kate and Jimbo come down for the game. You know, it's not just the price of the ticket. Even if you have a season ticket, it's the cost of getting there. It's the time expiration of value. It's the opportunity cost. And then when you've gone there and done it like 40 times over 2 years, and you've only seen 4 wins, it's not like. And these guys are getting paid $200,000 a week. Like, you can't sit there going, no, I'm not going to sit there and cheer you when you're not trying hard enough. So like, if people don't understand why people get frustrated, I think you have to just walk a mile in other people's shoes who have, and you spend a lot of money and a lot of time to come over once a year, but those guys who live 2 hours away or even 5 minutes away, they spend a lot of money to go 19 times, but they see shit shows every week. So I don't think we should judge people who are unhappy with what they see.
Yeah.
But
Alex,
that wasn't the start of the relationship with Vicario. That was the end.
Of course not.
I know.
You know, I know. I just take it as an example. As I said, as I'm always sitting until now, I was 3 times. I had the joy to be there. I was always sitting above the away end. You only hear the away fans because they're extremely loud, and the South Stand I can barely
usually
hear.
Because they're winning at our place.
Well, yeah, that's another thing, of course, because as a matter of fact, I only saw 1 win, but that was the spectacular one against Leeds with Antonio Conte, where we went down 3 times and won 4-3. That was amazing.
Yeah, but I listen. I'm someone that's like, everyone's entitled to their opinion. Everyone, as long as you can justify it, don't make excuses for your opinion. Explain it, right? Excuses versus explanations are important in life. I've got no problem with people that are angry. Obviously, it's more beneficial for the team if everyone gets behind the team. And you know what? When times really sucked last season, everyone came together and got us through the pickle that we were going through, right? So when it matters, the fan base are there. But individually, I don't think you can judge anybody for like. Oh, you still there? You back? You hearing? The internet must be cut.
Okay, I'm sorry.
Oh, your phone's gone. Your phone's gone. This is what happens when people dial in with their phone. Dial back in. Oh, you know what? I'll kick him and he'll be able to dial back in a second. It pisses me off when people, not Alex personally, I love Alex, but like when people say like, you're not a real fan because you don't back the team, like that to me is like problematic, because you know, it's easy for someone that's got £1 million in the bank to put out 1,500 quid. For people that, you know, and again, financial resources also shouldn't dictate your. Just let people do what they want to fucking do. Essentially, if you want to support the team, come what may, cool. Right? If you don't, cool. If you have high standards and low expectations, cool. If you have high expectations and low standards, cool. Just let everyone do what they fucking want to do. Stop telling people to fucking calm down. Like I was saying earlier, calm the fuck up. Calm up. This is the start of the season. Calm up.
Sean, calm down.
Shut the fuck up! Hello? What are we doing here?
I'm surprised because you know that calm down worked on my ex-wife all the time.
Yeah, I bet it did. That's why she's your ex.
I'll never tell someone to calm up unless they're telling me to calm down. You know, just let me fucking be me. You cannot have a problem. If you don't like it, watch someone else's stream. But yeah, Alex, listen, if you're coming over from Austria, I get it. You have to save up. It's hard to get tickets. But there's people that go every single week because it's their thing. And they may or may not be of better resources or less resources than you. And it might be cheaper or easier for them to get to the game. But let's not dictate how they should behave with their own energy towards the situation, you know?
Well, I'm not saying that. I'm just saying I was replying to the best fans in the world. I mean, I remember the Champions League game when we won 4-0 against Copenhagen, and the Copenhagen fans were singing non-stop, although they were 4-0 down. I was like, well, that's kind of cool. And of course, yes, we are not in Turkey, but in Turkey the mood it's amazing. So and I know you cannot compare that because I'm from Austria.
Alex, you know why
there's no mood at all in Austria. If you go to my hometown club, there's nothing happening. So it's kind of boring. But I just think it was not even my opinion. It was my observation because I was there.
Alex,
and it was shocking.
I'll tell you why the Spurs fans are the best fans in the world, and no one will ever convince me any different. They're the best fans in the world because they watch so much shit for the last 2 years at home, and they still spent their money and travelled, and it cost them a fortune to go. They still went there to that stadium week after week after week, and the away fans still went to the games week after week after week. That's why they're the best fans in the world.
And not only that, Jim, when we were on our absolute arses, they turned up in their thousands to welcome the bus. I mean, there's not many teams that would do that, and there's not many fans of teams that would do that. I don't care what anyone
And then the first time they turned up, we lost 3-0 to Forest, and the last game, they all turned up again. They're the best fans in the world.
The problem is, like, let's move away from like what happened last season. Last question for everyone. I've got just a couple of super chats first. Big up to for Nigel Seif saying, "How about hitting the likes up? Yeah, hit the likes up, people, guys. Really appreciate you if you can." And I've just plugged the Kate and Jimbo, the wonderful Kate and Jimbo, who are always here, always supporting. I'll put their channel in again. Please make sure you subscribe. Kate, have you gained any subscribers yet?
We've got back the ones we lost and one more. Thank you.
You're up +1. You're +1. Fuck, guys. What are we doing here? Right? There's 750 people here watching this. For fuck's sake. And we've had a terrible day. Everyone's had a terrible day, right? Everyone wants to go and punch something. I'd encourage you to steer clear of your pets, your loved ones. If you have a punch bag or a gym, go down to the gym, right? Or throw a bottle of Magnum into a fucking brick wall. Don't hit anything you love because you'll regret it. But in the meantime, for the love of God, there's 750 people here, and I know the vast majority of you haven't yet subscribed to Kate and Jimbo, okay? Because if you had, they would be on more than the amazing subscribers they are on, but they are not on anywhere near as many as they could be and should be because they're the best people. You know me, right? You know I'm capable of fucking losing my shit. You know I'm capable of like having a good time. I don't hang around with donuts. I keep my circle small, okay? These people are people that are in my circle. Alex is in my circle. Rain is in my circle. Kate and Jimbo are people within the circle. We're going to go fucking fishing together. They're going to come brassing with me, along with Drew. They're probably not going to do that. They're not going to do that. But like, just do the right thing and search. If you're on a phone and you can't do it, if wherever you are, just remember the name Kate and Jimbo on YouTube and subscribe to them. Okay, they're awesome. They add so much value to this channel. For the love of fucking God, Kate, I hope within the next 5 minutes you can tell me you've got at least 15 new, 20 new, 30 new. Come on, guys, do the thing. Do the thing.
I know
You're winding me up, chat. You're winding me up.
I know Jim's a bit of a pain in the arse, guys, but you can come over and just listen to me because, you know.
Jimbo's going to get rebranded Jimbo.com, okay? Because he was the guy who introduced us to ITK. Right?
He did.
You know, you got Kate on the Wag Watch. You got Jimbo.com on the fucking on the story with Marmouche. Come on, guys, just fucking smash the sub for King Jimbo. Anyway, let me get that last sub. Let me get that last. Kenwood says he sounded like Amorim in the presser. We will suffer. I wasn't impressed with the press conference. It was an unimpressed conference, if I'm honest. You know.
Yeah.
He will always defend his players. They are like sons to him. You capiche? They are like his sons. He will always defend them. He will always say positive things.
I need to listen to it again.
Yeah, he dodged the real important question, and I wasn't impressed with it in any way. Yeah, about Archie Gray. I thought it was just a bit meh. You know, I'm waiting for the Italian passion to come out, and there wasn't any.
Forest submitted a £70 million bid for Igor Thiago. Would you match it? Anyone?
He's a unit.
I don't think
100%.
I would match that.
100%. I think it's fantastic.
Same. I don't know actually. Let's have a look. Go on, Rain. Go on.
He's got to be over 6'4".
He's one of those players.
He's 191. He's 6'3". 6'3".
I saw him at White Hart Lane. He didn't score. I don't think he assisted, and I thought he was fantastic. I thought he was, he did to us exactly what Richie didn't do to them today. He dominated our centre backs, and he made it so that we had to work hard. And Richie didn't do that at all today.
100% agreement, Rain. 100% agreement. He gave Van Hecke the run around. He pulled him out of position. He beat him in every duel. This is his. I'd be up for it. 70 million quid apparently isn't very much anymore because we're about to pay 95 million quid or whatever it is for a guy who's got 2 goals in 65 appearances. So the money doesn't seem to matter. Money's gone bonkers. It is what it is.
I paid that the last time me and Kate went to Tottenham.
You'll be paying twice that the next time you come to Tottenham on Halloween, bro. If you know, you know, and we don't mind if we do. All right, listen, we're going to leave it there. Alex, mate, thanks for coming on, buddy. Listen, I'm going to do a fan show tomorrow. Oh, wait, is it Sunday tomorrow?
Tomorrow's Sunday.
Sunday or Monday, there'll be a fan show, Alex. So please come on again. I'll give you more time. Any last final thoughts, Alex?
Well, I'm kind of with Jimbo. You know, the last Italian manager who saved a Premier League team in the last game of the season, we all remember what happened the season after. And I believe that the Zerbi can be the Ranieri 2.0 because I'm still positive. Probably I'm not a Tottenham fan for long enough. You know, I told you I only started to root for Tottenham when Etihad Davids joined because I loved him, and he went away and I stayed. You know, I couldn't help it. And it's also more than 20 years, I think.
That's 20 years. I was going to say 20 years.
Yeah. So and I'm still like, it was not easy. And now I found options to watch nearly every game. You don't get all the games here in Austria, so you have to be kind of you have to find your options. But I'm still positive, you know. Okay. And that, although I live in Vienna, and we are not really known for being positive here in Vienna. Okay, guys.
Big up to you, mate. Listen, Matthew Ball, I'm done for tonight. I can't stand this happy clapping, bro. Have you watched the last 2 hours?
I was going to say that.
We've been going 2 hours and 20 minutes. I spent the first hour and a half screaming my fucking head off, mate.
It's sarcasm. It's sarcasm. Sarcasm.
I'm not sure it is. I'm not sure it is because look, there's another one saying this guy. Not this guy. Where's the other one? Hang on a second. Not that one. Oh, wherever it is. There's loads of people saying we're being too happy. We're fucking furious. Well, I'm fucking furious. I am absolutely fucking furious. And you watch me tomorrow. Once I get my clips to substantiate what I was talking about when I was showing you the fucking like the players in front, you watch. I'm going to go and grab the fucking screenshots and I'm going to point out the tactical disaster class that we just saw from Roberto De Zerbi and from our team. It's going to be apoplectic from Butler tomorrow. So listen, if you think I'm being nice today, I'm not. I'm angry, but tomorrow I'm going to be pointing out why I felt the way I did. But I appreciate everyone. Big up to Declan Hefferman. What a lovely name that is. Beautiful name, Declan. Thank you for the jewels, my man. Appreciate you. Phil P says, I blame Sean. Most people do. Most people do. Listen, we are going to leave it there. Rain, thank you so much for your time today. I want to say massive thank you to Drew for coming earlier. I was expecting him on the post-match, but he didn't pop in. But thank you for giving me the salvage or the salvation of getting the VPN going and the I don't know what happened with my whole setup thing. That was a disaster. Kate, Jimbo, love you as always. Have you got any more followers since we've spoken?
He didn't mean you, Sean. He meant the rest of the panel. We're all happy clappers, apparently.
Nah, they're not. They're angry. I think they're angry.
We're calm.
They're
yeah,
calm.
we're just calm.
Calm up. Calm up.
Yeah. But happy clappers back in the day used to just be like a supporter. But hey,
you got to calm the fuck up, you lot. Anyone in the chat that's like docile right now, calm the fuck up. Okay.
Do you know the thing is,
it's
Sean?
A warning shot. It's a warning shot to the rest of our season. You got to calm the fuck up.
It's the thing is we're all supporters, right? We all love this club, and I can promise you, no one loves this club anymore. Maybe the same, but not any more than I do. But I choose to look at things in a different way, you know. But as the weeks go on, that can change. But I'm not going to lose all my shit over the first game. Even though I was really, really gutted today.
We're bottom of the fucking table, Jimbo. We're bottom of the table.
Yeah, I know. Look, Sean, Kate, I tell you, I sat there and I was fucking sick as a pig watching it, and I pointed out how many things to you, Kate, about the players, but I just like to think that De Zerbi is too good, and the players that never played and the ones that are coming in are going to help change it. Give him a bit of time, and we'll see where we end up.
Of course, I'm going to give him time. Of course, I'm not De Zerbi out or anything as ridiculous as that. But you know what? I laughed. I laughed at the start of the pre-game show at Football Terrace doing his thing, right? You know, he's got to fucking. Well, I love it because I respect him. I respect his talent, right? But he's funny with his like energy. But he's absolutely fucking spot on with his team, and we should be spot on with our team. It's not good enough. It's not enough to sit there and say anything's got to change. But De Zerbi's been given everything he wants. He has to figure this shit out. And fixing the final pieces of the front line of the puzzle does not fix the shit that we saw today in the midfield.
Yeah,
it doesn't fix it at the back. So if we get pummeled in the same vein by Newcastle, calm the fuck up, people. Calm the fuck up.
But do you know what, Sean? Do you know what makes a great panel? Right, when not everyone's on exactly the same page.
Yeah,
I disagree.
We'll do a live tomorrow, Jimbo, and we'll burn one of our Spurs shirts. Maybe people are.
The fucking ain't burning one of mine, you bitch. Burn one of yours.
Burn one of mine. I've got loads of OK jerseys. They're fine. They're cheaper. It's fine.
Maybe then people will stop calling us happy clappers. But yeah, you'll never see Jimbo lose his shit about anything to do with Spurs, really.
To do with anything.
There. Listen, I want to say massive thank you to. Oh, God, Jimbo, sorry, I lost things.
And it just don't get. I don't think it gets you very far losing your shit. I just don't. I believe that.
Well, content has to content though at the same time.
Yeah.
You know, I've been teaching you, bro. I've been teaching you guys what you got to do. You got to fucking lose your shit occasionally. You know? Go where the wind is fucking going. It's part of the game. Appreciate you all. Love you all. Thanks, everyone, for being a part of tonight. Disappointing result. Horrendous fucking performance. With a lot to diagnose tomorrow. Trust me, I'll be coming with the receipts of everything I claimed this evening with regards. the positional sense. But Alex, massive thank you for you jumping on, mate. Mate, you know you've always got the access, so you should be coming on more than you do. But there will be a fan show in the next 24, 48 hours, Monday or Tuesday. Sunday or Monday. Rain, love you to pieces, mate. Thank you very much for coming on. Kate, Jimbo, love you guys. Please, once again, get over to Kate and Jimbo. It's not hard. It's not difficult. If you couldn't do it today, just remember the name Kate and Jimbo and then type it into Google. And don't forget, code Sean at OK Jersey. Get yourself a shirt that you can burn using code Sean10 at checkout. And also get over to the Spurs Hub, fill in your predictions and participate in all that stuff. And we'll see you tomorrow. Love you all. Take care. And as always, come on, you Spurs. Bye-bye, guys. Bye.